given me, I think I should get a little piece.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe a couple $1,000. I don't know. She can. I think out of 50 billion, she could probably spare.
They got plenty. Yeah.
I have a new camera on order.
Nice. What what did the Bezos one get? The dude who owns. What did his wife get?
I saw the other day. It's not it was never officially announced, but supposedly she got like 48 billion.
Yeah.
Billion with a B.
She gives a lot of it away too. Yeah, no shit.
No, I'm sorry. It was 88 billion, but she gave away half. So I think she gave away half to charity and still has like 40 billion.
Yeah, what the fuck is the difference between having 80 billion and 40 billion?
None that I can tell.
I think that's everybody's gripe too with that.
You can afford everything in the world.
Yeah.
You have any of them.
You could buy the city of Worcester.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wait till I show you that Woo Sox book that came out in the Telegram this week. I'll take a picture.
I'm looking forward to that, man.
Yeah.
Kev, do you know what he's talking about?
No.
Apparently the TNG included an insert of like a 30-page this is the Worcester Red Sox with a full like rundown. Sort of like you get at a Cape League team.
Yeah.
You know, they give their backgrounds and their, right? Is that what I'm saying? Is that accurate?
That is correct.
But it was a physical copy. So he has to like literally take pictures of each page and post them. Because I don't know if it's available digitally. I was not able to find it.
Is the stadium ready?
Yeah, I don't think it's fully ready. It's ready to play on, but I don't think there's still a lot left to do. I heard they're behind.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How's the area look like? It's going to be a fun place to hang out, or?
As of right now, I mean, they're only showing all the good stuff, but the park looks beautiful, and where it is, they put it in a perfect spot. It's actually, where Green Street is, the bridge.
Yeah.
I know exactly where it is.
If you take that left, if you're going under the bridge toward Main Street, and you take that left toward Southbridge Street,
yeah,
the backstop is right there. So the angle they give you to look at it, they're looking at home plate, but it really overlooks the city. It fits there, and I never really imagined it to fit the way it does. And it actually fit. Now, traffic is going to be, that's the gripe.
I've been to a couple of games in Lowell for the Lowell Spinners, which were a part of the Red Sox. I think they left that this year.
Spinners, yeah, I remember them.
And it's a fun thing for the family, the way they have it set up in there. And, it's a nice place to like bring your family and stuff like that and hang out.
Yeah, I've been there. My buddy Bobby Case pitched there in high school, actually, in '97. Yeah. He also pitched at Fenway too. Local dude. Went with the whole South High.
Nice.
What did he end up doing? Did he stay in baseball or did he move on?
Believe it or not, and it's funny that he's gonna hear this. I actually have busted his ball since 1998, I think it was. Past that. He actually made it to the minor leagues. I call them the Pittsfield Squirrels. I don't actually know what the name of the team was, but it was Pittsfield. And his coach was George Scott, Boomer Scott.
No shit.
Yeah, I think he's recently passed. But he actually played for that team, and it was when
I think he did.
Yeah, he played for Worcester State. He's actually on the list for most wins all time for Worcester State. He played for Quincy and did it to the best part about it is I don't think he topped out. It's a joke, but I don't think he threw faster than 70 miles an hour. And he was a lefty. Yeah, I'm telling you. Worcester State, Quincy, he dominated at South High. He played Holy Name, and they beat them. And the headline of the Telegram was "South proves its case." His last name is Case. So it was funny, but he was. I mean,
must be an awesome. See, you got to find that. We got to get to the TNG archives. We got to pull that out, right?
I think Tim Wakefield could throw 70 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Was he throwing knuckleballs or just like crazy curveballs that don't get hit?
Yeah, he could put the ball anywhere he wanted to. That was his real claim to fame. My buddy Danny had caught him in high school, I think only a couple of times. He said it was his favorite pitcher to catch because he didn't have to move. Literally, and the kid had a nasty pickoff mood. He had quite a few pickoff moves. He's a lefty, so it's easier, for them. But he's baffled a lot of people. That conversation still goes on today amongst all the people my age of how he did so well. And buddy of mine, Andy Sebring, who's a Worcester firefighter now, he busts his ball saying I don't think he threw faster than 50 miles an hour. But
he had to throw faster than 50. Everyone
we'll get someone on right now that will confirm that.
Okay. What do we got? A surprise visitor now?
Nope, not yet. I'm getting a link on there right now.
Don't Oprah me, Mike. Don't Oprah me. Hey, everyone gets a fastball.
Right.
My catcher in Little League never had to move either, but that's because the balls kept sailing out of the park.
That's funny, yeah. Who went deep today? Did Devers go deep?
No, actually, I want to ask both you guys, what do you guys think of this? Who is this catcher, Plawecki, if that's how you pronounce it? Because I didn't have good audio. So the catcher fucking drove that game today at offense. Did you pay attention to that? Do you know who the fuck he is? Like where he came from?
Plawecki, I guess that's how I would say it, but I haven't heard his name said. I haven't really.
Do you know him, Kev?
No, if you want me to name the 77 lineup, I can, but I'm struggling with this.
No, I know, but I try. So, I watched it on ESPN Gamecast, so you don't get it in real time, and you only get like snippets.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh shit, that name is totally unfamiliar to me. And then he wrapped a double, and then he hit an RBI single late. I mean, he was big into the game, but I have no idea who he is, or like, is he early in his career, late in his career? I don't know any of that. The name didn't ring a bell.
I know. So Evaldi started today, right?
Yeah.
He looked good for like 2 or 3 innings, and then like his third or fourth inning, all of a sudden not so good.
Yeah, his ERA isn't looking so great this year, but I think he's mid-4s right now.
And he doesn't have injuries as an excuse, presumably this time. So I don't know.
Well, excuse is a weird word. I wouldn't use the word excuse. Sometimes a reason. Excuse.
A reason.
Different than a reason.
Well, I loved him a couple of years ago when they acquired him in the midseason. And,
All right. So.
No, I was saying I loved him a couple of years ago when they first acquired him midseason, and he helped them win a championship. And that was when I was still very interested in the Red Sox, and I loved him right away. I loved the way he threw. He threw hard, he threw strikes, he hit corners. And they gave him the big contract. And
surprised me. I did not think he was a very significant pickup when we got him, and then we got him, and I was like, yeah, that was a fucking good move.
Yeah.
But this year I don't know. I don't know much about what he's done at all.
Well, he was obviously hurt most of last year after he signed the contract.
Say again?
I'm sorry. He was obviously hurt pretty much all of last year, and that was coming off, signing a pretty big contract with the Red Sox.
Oh, gosh, all right, yeah. So maybe
his history before the Red Sox was of being hurt a lot too. So.
All right, so we got the link out there. People should be coming in soon. I'll tell you when.
Oh, that's right. Nobody's listening to us yet, Kev, by the way.
Yeah,
okay.
It's all good. I mean, we'll post a recording later, so we're still going.
Yeah.
So you're recording it, but it's not live. Is that what you're saying?
Right.
Yeah.
No,
okay.
It is live. It is live and it's recording, but no one's here yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's cool. So if by some miracle one of us happens to say something clever, you do have a clip.
Exactly. That's why I taped a long conversation last week with him because of that. Just you never know. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Hey, listen, we've laughed our asses off on the phone sometimes. You wish you had that material saved, But it's like we've had to hang up on each other. Be like, all right, enough. Don't use it all now.
Oh man, if only we had like a recording of all those bar conversations all those years,
I hope this is what this turns into, It's cool. I mean, a lot of people have loved it so far. A lot of people.
Oh, hey, Mike, before we go public, or it doesn't really matter.
Oh, we're public, Tom. Let it rip.
All right. What can we do to like promote to sell your stuff or McNeely's stuff? So I think we could. Like, is there any way we can do that here, or
We'll
is that?
figure it out. We'll figure it out another time.
All right.
Yeah. So, did you guys both watch that game today?
Well,
I did. I watched 30 seconds of it.
Yep. Yeah, I got hung up moving today, so I didn't see too much, but we can review it. I know it was close. Tom, did you watch the whole thing?
Yeah, well, I watched it online, but I was getting like the digital representation, not the actual game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm watching every ball and strike, but I'm probably a minute or two behind what's happening in real world.
Yeah.
Okay, so JD Martinez stood out, and who's the other? The catcher. He really stood out to me. And oh man, I actually forgot Bogarts. I fucking forget about him. Even though I loved him years ago, a couple of years ago, but I totally forgot about him. He had a game. A few of these guys had games, but it was like 3-0 in the third. And then it was like 3-3 in the fourth, and like 5-6, 6-5 through the fifth and sixth.
We got let's see, 4-1 in the third. I know
that was with us up. We were still up then, right?
Yeah, we scored 4 in the eighth, so it was 9-8 in the eighth. We scored 4 to get 12. We won 12-9.
Yeah,
four,
yeah.
So safe to say the offense is keeping this team alive.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
But there's only 3 people batting over 300. I was looking at earlier. They needed their order.
A big double by the catcher. That's one thing I remember, and I don't know what inning it happened in, but it generated at least 1 run. And I think he got knocked in. So it generated 2 runs, I think, ultimately. But yeah, it's one of those games I really would have liked to watch. This would have been a fun game to watch, like, in person or on TV. But I'm watching the video version of it. So
Mike just mentioned batting average. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the game has changed. So over the last several years, like we grew up with the idea of kind of 300 being the benchmark. And, so a good hitter was above 300. It's not like that anymore. Very few guys are over 300 in baseball now. But that doesn't mean your offense is not still scoring runs. It's just different the way they run it now.
They have 3 guys over 300 right now.
Yeah, but the offense is still on fire.
Like 3 guys sorry, but they also, I noticed the stats. They have like 3 guys who are batting under 200. I mean, there are 185 batters.
Cornero's batting 188. You got Hunter Renfroe batting 195.
All right, so
Gonzalez is a 207. Yeah, your leadoff hitter is batting 239.
But where do we rank in runs? That's really. As a team.
I agree with you. I don't care how you get the runs. You got to get them. And but it is weird. I was looking at him like, really? Rafael Devers is batting 189? Like that just seems whoever it was.
Devers is batting 287. All
right. Well, it was one of the other guys then. I'm like, Jesus Christ, he's a starter who can't bat 200. But
it's just different. The average is different. The standard is different now because, like, for instance, I've heard this conversation a lot over the years with Bradley. We need Bradley to hit 280 to be worth it. It's like, no, now if he hit 240, he would have been okay. But if he's only hitting 210, he's and he's not giving you a lot of power or other numbers. He's not helping you. But the number is different than what we grew up with, from where you need to be. I'm not sure all the reasons why, but.
Well, all right. There's probably some reasons why. We can probably use Tommy Daly's input on that. He might have more insight. I don't know. And we'll get to him next week.
Yeah.
People, we'll have Tommy Daly, the coach of the Little League World Series Jesse Burkett team from 2002. He'll be joining us early next week. And he has a lot of insight into baseball. And maybe he'll be able to tell us.
Yeah, I would think he'd have some good ideas. I know one thing would probably be start with Moneyball, where they changed the emphasis to on-base percentage instead of batting average. Yeah. So guys were trying to draw walks and stuff like that. And now there's an emphasis on home runs. Guys trying, So I think it's just a different emphasis. It's not. I don't think they're changing the way they score the stats or anything like that. It's just there's a different emphasis in baseball.
Yep.
Yes, I think I agree with you, and also I think it's become an effort to defeat the pitcher, if that makes any sense to you, as opposed to being like just being a good hitter.
Yeah,
you do whatever the pitcher doesn't want.
Yeah,
not left hand, right hand stuff, but if he wants to go low or outside or inside, there are guys who can like counter that. I'd rather hear it from like a manager like Tommy. So we'll hear from him eventually.
Mike, do you remember we were talking about Rich Gedman the other day?
Yep.
And Tom, this is probably a little before your time, but I think Tom might remember his name, Walter Riniak. He was
absolutely. Yep.
He was the hitting coach for the Red Sox in the 80s, who made Wade Boggs, and so because of that, he briefly became like national, of national renown. But he had this weird thing where he advised hitters to swing slightly down at the ball on every swing. He changed their swings to that, and if I remember correct, he's the one who ruined Rich Gedman, who should have been a natural power hitter, who was a power hitter, and he had him chasing singles, and it ruined him, and he never was able to get back to it. But
the first thing that comes up when you Google him is a hitting clinic.
Yeah. I don't know if
they all do that. Yeah, they. No, all right. Yeah, Herniak. It's spelled like HRNIAK or something.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, is that the guy?
Yep.
Yeah, he was like a hitting guru. I did not know that he affected. No, he would have been there at the time of Gedman, so I guess he would have affected Gedman. I didn't know that was a tie-in. Maybe we'll bring that up if we ever get Gedman on the show, which we might.
I'd love to have Gedman on.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure he would not want to make excuses, but really, he was an incredible player for several years, and then just. All of a sudden, you could literally watch his swing come apart, and I think it's Riniak, because he turned Wade Boggs into 360 hitter or something like that. But that was perfect for Boggs, but it was a very unusual hitting style. And once he started forcing Red Sox players to do that, then he eventually got fired. But it was very controversial at the time because of that.
I remember the guy. I don't remember the controversy. It's one of those things.
The reason I bring it up now too is because talking about this batting average thing, if you look at what like what Martinez talks about in these guys, they teach these guys, they're looking for they're trying to create long fly balls now, because that leads to home runs. So it's the opposite of the Riniak school, where you're swinging up at the ball, right? And the idea is you will get more outs that way. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to hit for the same batting average, but you'll get more home runs. You'll get more power. So I think that might be a part, and I think that's a baseball-wide thing, hitting philosophy now. So I think there are reasons that go into why teams are hit for much lower batting average than they were 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully Tommy can talk about that.
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, I kind of wonder about that because, all right, it sort of seems like my stupid phone is going off.
It's Walter Riniak.
Yeah.
Stop talking shit about me, Tom.
I can't believe he saw. How did he see?
But honestly, I actually kind of like the Herniak approach when I'm thinking about it right now, but I gotta think about it more. But but like that you would get a higher batting average doing his system, right? Is that the idea?
I mean, just think about, all right, think about in softball, right? Like,
that's what that's basically what I'm thinking about.
So if you're not someone that has a really good power hitter that's going to hit a whole bunch of home runs in softball, but you focus on hitting long fly balls, you're gonna get a lot of things. You're gonna hit a lot on the warning track, and they become outs. Whereas if you focus on a level swing or a downward swing, you're gonna get a lot of infield hits, a lot of which is depending on the philosophy of your organization. That's fine. You'll have a higher batting average, but you won't have anywhere near the home runs. And so I think it started actually with maybe the Houston Astros, but teams like that led the trend 4 or 5 years ago. We're trying to get guys to hit deeper because you'll get more home runs, which gave them more overall production in the offense if you have the right kind of hitters.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, okay, that would make sense, but you can't apply that to your chump ass right fielder like me or your second baseman like me. You know what I mean? I can't be required to hit for the fences.
Right.
To the ground. As far, you know what I mean, as fast as possible. But yeah, that's it. If it works, it works. If you have the right players, it works.
Absolutely.
But, I mean, Costello, were you a bomber when you played softball?
Yes. Softball, yes. Baseball, no.
Yes.
Baseball, admittedly, I don't have one home run in my career. Not in baseball. Not one home run in my career in baseball. But I made the All-Stars every year in Little League and Babe Ruth.
What position did you play?
Oh, the funny thing is my nickname, the U-Man, utility. Everywhere. I played, shit you not, I played every single.
That's awesome.
I played, and it was the only time I ever pitched was in Babe Ruth when I pitched one game, and I played every single position for that team. But it was scratch that. I didn't catch. I did catch once in Little League, but I could hit too. But I don't know. It was tough. I got cut in high school. That was tough, real tough. But it led me to being on the golf team. That was for the losers.
Oh, I was not aware of that. I didn't know you were.
I didn't know. You mentioned it once, but I didn't know. Tell me about that. Being on the golf team.
Listen, it was a no-brainer. It was I think it was 3 times a week. We got to go to the driving range for free. We golfed a couple matches a week, which golf is expensive. That's like 30 to 40 bucks a round back then. We didn't have cards, but we played at Green Hill, which was still to this day my favorite course, just because, and a lot of people hate it, but we played so much on it, you know. What's the public schools? It was not bad. Yep. And
I've almost killed some people at Green Hill.
I think I have too.
And I'm horrible. I played there, but I was terrible. It was embarrassing. It was
I'm not even close to a good golfer. Not even after all that.
But I remember it was like for some charity or like orphanage or police department thing or whatever. I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. I'll buy the $20 ticket to fucking play with my buddies. Oh my God. 2 holes in. I'm like, this is insane. I suck so bad.
Right?
But you deal with it. I made it through all 18 holes. Just slowly.
So
So
if we had a foursome, Charles Barkley would fit right in.
Yes.
Oh my God, that doesn't even look real. It really doesn't. Listen, if I could put a graphic on the screen right now, it would show a graphic of Charles Barkley's swing. It doesn't even make sense.
It's the funniest thing, that hits where he starts to swing and then he just kind of stops in the mid swing, and then sometimes he cranks it back again. And
it's not like there's no consistency. I mean, it's
Yeah, it's
consistently
something-
bad, but
for a guy we know is super strong and super coordinated, you
Yeah.
don't get to the NBA without being coordinated. You know what I mean? And we know he's strong for his size and age. I
the
don't know.
round mound of rebound.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
round. Yeah, I don't know why he doesn't get it
it is really unusual for someone to be
at this point.
any kind of pro athlete. Those guys are usually good at every sport.
Yes,
Yeah.
you would think. Yeah, any like Wes Welker could go dunk on a basketball court. You know what I
The
mean?
most obscure
Random football player.
that is nasty, that is good at a weird sport. Mookie Betts.
Bowling.
Bowling.
He's a 300 bowler.
Bowling.
It's unreal. Like he could be a pro bowler. Not that there's big money in it, but
All right, I'll tell you this. All right, so I'm at Fort Sill in 1991, and we finally get our first day off, and there are a bunch of Southern black guys, a bunch of Southern white guys, Northern black guys, Northern white guys, whatever. We're all hanging out, and one guy comes up to me. He's like, "Can you bowl?" I'm like, "Yeah, I kind of know how to bowl." He's like, "You want to be on my team?" I'm like, "Yeah." He bowled like a 240. He was a dude he bowled at this YMCA. in his town that he had a membership through for free. He was literally a legit bowler at the age of 19. That's insane. I was like, dude, I'm not as good as you. I can't really hang with you. But that always stuck with me, that a lot of kids who go to boys clubs, YMCAs, things like that, bowling was a thing that in the 80s you would do as an athlete, even if you don't have a baseball field available to you. And I've always thought that was, I always remember that guy. Thought that was cool.
Yeah. I was a good bowler, both candlepin and 10-pin. And I bowled in leagues when I was younger. Got some trophies.
I didn't bowl in leagues. But you did? You actually got?
Oh yeah, I got some high bowler trophies in both sports and first and championship trophies, and that's the extent of my athletic prowess was bowling, I guess.
My point is, I peaked athletically when I was 12. That was
I did too.
No doubt. No doubt.
I peaked athletically when I was like 28. Seriously, I shit you not. Like in the Army, I realized I was faster than most people, and I'm like, oh fuck, I always sucked at Little League and all this other shit. So when I had a chance to play softball, like with Jeremy's league and Kev's league and stuff, I'm like, being fast actually helps. So I'm just gonna use it. But yeah. It was a brief window of 4 or 5 years where I was among the fastest guys on the team, and then that went away.
It was exciting, Mike. He'd get a hit or whatever it was. He'd get to first base. Whatever, he never understood, or at least never accepted the authority of a base coach to tell him to stop running.
About that.
So no matter what, no matter where the ball was, he was running through to the next base.
He's going. And
he just keep going and go. And that first year we were playing at a pretty bad level league. So there was a lot of missed throws and stuff like that. And he'd be running, fast as shit. And his hat would fly off somewhere around second base. And then his hair would form into like a bolt, like the Chargers bolt. It'd be off like the back of his head. And he would look like a lightning bolt going around the bases, and it was awesome.
That is funny.
That's the peak of my athleticism. That was it.
Yeah, well, you played basketball, right?
I did not play high school ball. No, I didn't make the team. I would have loved that, but my team was actually top 10 in the state all 4 years I was there. There was like they've won a lot of titles since then too, but they were really good back then. One of the guys went pro. But yeah, they were. So no, I didn't make the team.
No, where was it? Lawrence Catholic? Is that where you went? Oh, I mean,
Central Catholic in Lawrence. I mean, I love basketball. Same as you though. Like I peaked when I was 12 in the sense that I always picked up sports. Like I understood. So when we would start playing in the 6th grade, I'd be the best guy there. But by the time you got to like 8th grade freshman year, some guys were growing into really athletic bodies, and I was just a tall, skinny, dorky kid that liked sports. So it didn't really pan out for me that way.
Who is the most memorable name from Lawrence?
For pro sports?
Wise. Yeah.
Basketball
wise from Lawrence. The most memorable name. I have one. It's the only one I know, but I want to know if you.
Well, I mean, there's a guy in the NBA now that's from Noah Vonleh, that's from Haverhill, which is right next to Lawrence.
Yeah. Well, Patrick Ewing wasn't from Lawrence, was he?
No, he went to Cambridge Ringe and Latin. I saw him play in high school.
Gotcha. Bad call on my part. All right.
I did see him play in high school. Who do you got?
I got a real good one. Oh shit.
I just saw it. I thought I guessed.
That was Megan. That's my friend Megan. She came in. How do we get her back in here? Hold on.
Megan from the Blarney Stone?
No. Well, I think she's been to the bar. Hey, Meg.
No, not the same Megan that I know.
Oh, okay.
Yep. She's on. Hold on, Meg.
She's got no mic.
Oh yeah, they're all off. That's right. Hold on.
This meeting has been upgraded by the host to now includes. All right, I'm getting a little weird message.
Hold on. I don't know exactly. Hold on.
I have to turn
Hold on
on.
one sec, Meg. All right, so we can keep going. I'm gonna work on getting her back in. I gotta make sure that people just don't jump in. But
See, if I had a black screen, it wouldn't have scared her off.
no, yeah. Oh, there it is. All right.
Is she good?
Yep, she's good.
All right. Make sure you let her in.
Yeah, I'll let her in. I'm just gonna keep everybody off screen until to filter people. That's all. I gotta figure out. I did it last week. Now, like I said, we're beta.
All right, enough with the beta, motherfucker. I've told you we're alpha.
Yeah.
We're alpha.
Yep.
Yeah, this is kind of beta.
I love it. So, back to that point, it was Scott Hazelton.
Oh, okay, yes. Yeah.
That name rings a bell, but
he went to my high school. Long after me, but yeah, he went to my high school.
He was a big deal. He was a big deal for a while.
Yeah. They played maybe Holy Name from Worcester in the championship.
Yes. Yep. I believe I think it was Diego McLean maybe before from Holy Name. I don't know if you guys remember that name, but
what year are we talking about? What Hazelton? What year are we talking about?
He was. I asked Kev what
roughly.
He's from Lawrence, that area. The only player that I know from around that area was Scott Hazelton. Yeah. I think did he go to UConn?
When was that?
Was that early? Was that 2000s maybe? I think it might have been 2000s.
Okay. All right. 2000.
Or it could have been 90s. I'm not sure. There was a couple, 2 or 3 times where my high school made it to the championship in Worcester, and I went and met people there to watch it. One of them was Scott Hazelton, I think against Holy Name, and I'm not sure if it was the same year, but Neil Fingleton played for. No, was it Neil? Yeah, no, was it? Yeah, no, I'm sorry, not Neil Fingleton.
No, you're right.
He went to Holy Cross. Now, who was the kid that went to Holy Name? That was the big white kid that was like 7'6".
Jerry Azuma.
No, that's Neil Fingleton. That's Neil Fingleton.
Neil Fingleton?
Yeah.
Who's Jerry Azuma?
Jerry Azuma was the running back for the Chicago. Well, he played safety, I believe, for the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, but what high school did he go to? He was a
St. Peter Marion.
Oh, okay. He was a St. Peter's kid. All right. Okay.
He's been in Leachams.
Tangled up. I got him.
Yep. Oh yeah. He signed the exit sign at the Blarney Stone.
Oh, did he?
Yep. And you know what? He actually, it was like automatic when he touched the ball in high school. He scored a touchdown.
Yeah. He was like a
touchdown.
In the NFL, right? Was he a kick returner in the NFL?
Yes.
He did.
That was his. He was before Devin Hester.
He was a cornerback. The Bears made him into a cornerback.
Yep. And he could have been a nasty. I don't know why no one ever tried him at running back, because he went to UNH, I believe it was.
Yeah. Yes.
And he had the record right around Ricky Williams.
He was UNH.
Yep.
He did go to UNH.
Yep. And St. Peter's at that time was power. Owen Kilcoyne was the coach. I don't know if you guys remember him, but that was.
I know
that's going to be a legendary team. His stretch, I believe, from like 94 to like earlier than that, but like the 90s, the entire 90s, St. Peter's dominated. The game with St. John's at Fitton Field had to be, I think it was 97, but you had the Molinaris, Rob McCann, and they were huge. One of the biggest kids.
You watch your mouth when you talk about St. Peter's versus St. John's, man. SJ owns that fucking rivalry. I think. Don't we? I think we do. We used to. My father played for St. Peter's when he was a kid against St. John's in the Thanksgiving game, but I'm pretty sure we have a better record as a St. John's man than St. Peter's. But I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah.
Worcester people will be pissed if I'm wrong. I apologize in advance, but I kind of thought we won like 20 in a row.
Are you counting the chess team?
I count the chess team, the AP Model UN. Yeah, I base it mainly on the Model UN. We dominated.
That's hilarious.
All right. Hey, I'm going to step away from the screen for 60 seconds. I'll be right back.
You got it. You got it.
This will be like that Clint Eastwood thing when he got on the stage during the Republican convention and he left the chair up there for Remember that he brought the chair up. He was like trying to make a joke that that's Obama was the chair or something like that.
Yep.
Now we get to look at Tom's chair.
Yep.
So what happened to your friend Megan?
She's coming back. I had to figure it out. It's hard to well, it's my second time using Zoom, so
Yeah.
it was. I just got to make sure people that they don't want to jump on. We want to see us chatting. We'll let people on, but have people ask questions or.
So what do you get? Like 2 messages. One is to let her in, and the other is to activate her mic.
Yes, but you can shut the entire thing off, like just across the board, and then pick who gets to talk or whatever.
Yeah.
But so that's good. But
well, that's cool. I mean, I think. What's that?
What were we talking about earlier? That that's funny. You caught the typo that I wrote Max.
No, I didn't. Tom told me about it. I actually didn't catch it. No.
I answered the phone when he called me. I answered the phone. I just fixed it, Tom. He's called me every single typo. It's good. You know what I do? I put it out there, and then I edit. But I got to do it in reverse. I'm doing all this.
I told him you probably did it on purpose. You were trying to make a little play on words.
When I first read it, I said, I hope people think that. Maybe someone thought that, but I didn't mean it. I wanted to go back.
No, when I talked to him, where I actually was out looking for eagles, not the Philadelphia kind or the BC kind. There was an eagle sighting across the street from us. There's like a swampy pond thing about a half mile away, and there's a trail that leads down to it. And we heard there was an eagle that had been sighted on, and they are somewhat they're becoming somewhat. They're still rare, but they're still there's fairly somewhat flourishing in Lawrence. I mean, not in Lawrence, in Massachusetts now.
Yeah.
So I took a long walk along that trail, and I thought so all of a sudden I'm looking across, and these birds are all squawking like geese because they're getting aggravated by something. I look up and I see this thing with huge wingspan, and I see a flash of white on it. And so I was thinking, and it was a bald eagle that was supposedly had been sighted, and then it went into the woods. I was like, shit, I wonder if that was it. So I called Tom up, and so I kept walking in that area, and then it came out of the woods, and it was not an eagle. It was a heron, which is, if you've ever seen a heron, they're huge. But they're common.
20. Yeah, it's amazing. Herons. Yeah. My buddy Danny lives off of Route 20, and it's a small pond, but they have herons, and they fly overhead. That's huge. Like, the only other bird I've seen in person that's been that big and amazing is I don't know. Have you ever seen a turkey vulture?
Not a turkey vulture, no.
Oh, for some reason,
I know they're supposed to be big, yeah.
Oh my God, Northbridge has them, and they look like gargoyles on top of the houses. It's amazing. I don't know why Northbridge has them, but Northbridge, for some weird reason, they have swans and they have these turkey vultures that are everywhere, and it's cute. I mean, that's where I'm going if the world ever goes south to eat. I'll take birds out. Birds, I don't care, but
at that point you'll eat whatever, right? Whatever
absolutely. You get. Yep, no doubt. What do you think about Mac Jones?
What do I think? I mean, I didn't watch any college ball, so because of obviously the Patriots need, and every time you get to the draft, I start watching a lot of YouTube video. Yeah. You try to look at something. You'll watch a 20-minute video of someone pointing out the strengths and weaknesses. So I like what I saw, because to me, I think that there's always been, every time there's a great quarterback like Mahomes or Michael Vick in the day, there's always a fascination with the scrambling quarterback. But they very rarely work out. And they don't seem to have very long careers.
Kev.
What's that?
You mean Geno Smith? Because he's the next Michael Vick.
No, wait. I was going to say that.
Don't confuse Michael Vick with the monster that was Geno Smith.
That is 2 weeks in a row that Geno Smith has gotten love here. So
sorry, Kev. I didn't mean to cut you off, but God, it was one of the best lines I've ever heard. I thought Geno Smith was going to be the next Michael Vick.
Listen,
I laughed. I can laugh forever now.
That West Virginia team. Let's go back and review. I believe was that Tavon Austin that year? But that team was incredible. There was someone else. Who was the guy before Geno Smith at West Virginia? Was it Pat White? I think it was something like that.
It could have been. Yeah, that name sounds familiar. I don't know. It was him though.
It just came to my mind, but there was also someone else on that team. I'll go back and check it out after. But Yeah, it's a 1 point. I thought. I'm not gonna lie. I got it. I looked at it. I'll stick by it.
Why do you stick by it?
I said it. No, I got to stick by that. I said it. I don't. Not now, obviously.
Let me ask you guys this. So, what do you look for in a quarterback in terms of your priorities?
All right, let's hear it. I'll let you go first, Mike.
I mean, I'm absolutely a Brady style guy. He's got to know how to manage. He's got to be a leader. He can't be nervous. And I guess you don't need size, but I need someone.
Yeah.
You know,
you kind of do.
Yeah.
I prefer size. I like everything you said, but I prefer a guy who's 6'4" over a guy who's 5'11". You know what I mean?
I'm going to say, how about another one?
They're rare guys that are that.
Here's another one. So I love Drew Bledsoe, but also
me too. I was a Drew Bledsoe fucking fanboy. I swear.
If you want to talk about epic missed calls, Ryan Leaf to me was going to be like the next. I thought he was going to be what Ben Roethlisberger is, or you know. But
like a war horse that'll last for 15, 20 years and just be able to chuck the ball.
Yep.
Like, I mean, Roethlisberger has proven to be able to do that. Yeah, he kind of looked like that. But it's not your fault for misjudging Ryan Leaf because everyone misjudged him, right?
Yeah.
Well, and the flaws of Ryan Leaf were not something that we could know because you could see from the way he's behaved in the subsequent years that the flaws were more issues with his personality.
You wouldn't be able to know that. I would have.
Yeah, you couldn't really know that just watching games on TV or watching footage, you know.
Yeah. Right.
So what do you look for, Tom, in a quarterback?
Well, intelligence, but that's such a stupid thing because, but for me, it's good decision making. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's hard to determine how that translates from college to that. And also, I want a little bit of size. I do. I really do. Yeah. I think they do better if they're a little bigger. But, you know, I mean, as far as accuracy percentages and all that stuff, I mean, obviously you want the highest numbers possible. You're not going to get them. You're not going to get the full package. No, I want a smart guy who's big enough to handle being in the NFL. Yeah. That's what I want. You know, if he those short passes, long passes, medium passes, whatever. Yeah. If he's a smart guy, he can get that done. If he's a good quarterback, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I don't really have I love watching Michael Vick. It's fun, but it's like watching a running back. Yeah. So I like watching running backs different than I like watching quarterbacks.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't. God.
I like it. So my question was, I added to that list, which I love having the list of topics too beforehand, it was great. My theory is that Belichick's out. I think he's out after this year.
You don't think he's going to go for the quarterback win record by Don Shula? I mean the win record by Don Shula.
What's the exact numbers on it?
I think he would need 3 winning seasons. I think he's like 30. I think it's 36 games he needs, if I remember right.
Yeah, he's not gonna go 3 more seasons.
Yeah,
that's going to be 4 or 5 seasons.
Yeah, because he ain't going 12-4.
That's a long time. That doesn't seem likely.
Right.
I think he is. I think he wants that.
I think he's gone. I think it only because it fits. It fits because
I don't know.
Daniel's chance to have his quarterback to bring up. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he's got Cam for 1 more year with the weapons, so now no one can say he didn't try it. But
I think he wants that record. I also think he wants to possibly lead the Patriots for his sons. He's got 2 of them on the coaching staff. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying they don't necessarily have to be the head coach, but you know, on a path to that, whether it's general manager or head coach or something like that. So I think he has, and I think mostly it's just what else does he like to do? He's not going to go and join ESPN. He's not the kind of guy that does well at that.
You know? Dude, how awesome would it be if he did though? If he went on ESPN and had like a half-an-hour show every Wednesday morning or whatever. Like Bill Belichick. What Bill Belichick is thinking? Fuck you, you stupid cunt. Yes. That's exactly what he would do. That's actually probably the best exit strategy for him, is to just get his own show, which would only last for a minute, but it'd be hilarious.
Right.
Good.
I like it.
I don't know, how old is he? He's retirement age. So no matter when he retires, it's not like we can point it to any particular reason, like football based or league based. You know what I mean?
I think he's 69.
The fact that he's in his 70s or late 60s.
I think he's 69. Yeah.
All right. So if he wants to retire, he can retire.
He seems like a young 69. Like some people at 69, they look like they're close to. He looks like he's fit. He's mentally sharp. He doesn't seem to have lost anything. So, I mean, I don't see why he couldn't go on another 4 or 5 years.
Well,
easily.
I mean, it's not couldn't. It's not about couldn't. Is do you want to?
I think he does. I think he lives there.
I mean, at that point, don't you just want to like lie on your beach house or whatever and hang
I do,
out?
but I'm not Belichick.
Yeah.
I know he is. I know. I'm. Yeah, he's a fascinating guy.
He's
Someday
69.
someone will go on.
He's 69.
All right. Someday someone will write a really good biography of him. I don't want his autobiography. You know what I mean? I can get that. You know what I mean?
It'll be Tom Brady.
Someday somebody will write a real book about him. I'm curious about what he thinks about these things, like at these times in his life. I think it's probably an interesting story. He probably has had a lot of conflict, with himself and like what jobs to take and what to do. And then you get all this success and now you're a genius, but people hate you. And now you're a cheater. I fuck that, by the way. But you know what I mean?
I think people that are that driven like that, like for instance, Tom Brady, it kind of, a lot of it comes from something that happened that you felt you had to prove yourself. So with Tom Brady, it was being drafted in the 6th round and that whole thing, so there's something there in Belichick's background. I don't know what it is because he but
no, maybe it's his father being a naval officer. Or no, is that wrong? But
no, I think he coached at Navy.
Was a football coach at Navy, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it was that. It was like you're fucking almost like that Twisted Sister video. Remember that? Remember that? You're fucking.
What are you gonna do with your life?
What are you gonna do with your life? I'm gonna rock. He's like, nah, I'm gonna fucking coach football. Fuck off. No, I'm curious, but I don't want to mess with the guy like during his career while it's still going on. Like I don't blame anyone for not writing that already. Wait for him to finish and then he can write it, or somebody can write it.
The Pats, they let Bird go too. He looked promising. I want to see how good he's going to end up being. He was.
Yeah, he just signed with Chicago, right?
Yeah, he was strong at the end of last year.
He seems to have a good connection with Cam
Fields. No, he's gone.
Who are we talking about? I missed that. I'm sorry. I took my glasses off. I fucked up. Who
That
am
was
I?
that wide receiver Bird that just signed. You said with Chicago?
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Yes,
Chicago, yeah.
He was good.
Yeah.
I actually like that guy.
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't know. I like what they've done so far. I think it's been overhyped a little bit the off season, but at least they're trying. It looks like they're trying.
I mean, it's inevitable to overhype it, but you know what? I can't wait for. I kind of feel like that every year, even this past year, going without Brady. That's what we talked about. Why did I felt like that about the Red Sox for most of my life, and something changed, but I don't feel like that. I mean, I still have that same passion for the Patriots. Where
Jason.
When August comes, I like it. I'm really excited, and I'm excited about this team. The promise of it,
Oh yeah.
I love the first couple of. I love the 2nd and 3rd round pick too. These guys might potentially, really shore up that defense.
Yeah.
They signed Judon, a defensive end. It could be really good. I really like the way that safety they drafted last year. That was like for years he's been chasing that. He's in those secondary players that he drafts that no one's ever heard of, that they all fizzle up. But this one looks like he's the real deal. Is it Duggar or Dugan or
Oh, Kyle Duggar.
I think it's
Duggar, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you said it right the first time. Was it?
Yeah.
Or did
Duggar. Yeah, Kyle Duggar.
Duggar. Okay. Well, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about him?
Too, I don't know much. I don't know much about him, but like I was talking about last week too. Last year, a lot of guys opted out from us because of COVID. So
Yeah. And that's a fucking move.
But that's a whole nother team. That's a whole nother team.
Yeah, but I don't see anybody really coming back that's going to help them except maybe Hightower.
Who's Hightower?
But Hightower's getting kind of
but
old
how do
anyway,
you lose a fucking Hightower and then justify, like, be able to give an honest assessment of your team if you don't know if you're gonna have them the next day?
I agree.
I mean, that could be a game or two. Hightower could be in a game or two.
You're right.
That's how I feel about it. So I don't know.
Well, I mean, I'm excited for the guys they have this year. That's all I know. And
yeah,
I mean, and I'm not even really familiar with those two tight ends that they signed. Obviously, they were the top two tight ends on the market. So that alone makes me excited. But it's not like we just hired. It's not like we just signed, some Hall of Fame player. So I don't really know how good these guys actually are.
Two of the top five. I would. Two of the top seven.
Yeah,
I would say.
No, but I hear what Kev's saying. Does that translate to wins or not?
Yes,
right?
It does.
I hope so.
The double tight end set is
that's
the Patriots set. That's when
we'll
I think
have to see. We'll have to see that happen. But I know it's not automatic. It's not like you just picked up Pat Mahomes and whoever the hot running back is this year or whatever.
Play me in Madden with those two tight ends, with any quarterback. I dare you.
Dude, I'm going to go fucking buy a PS4 just to play you in Madden.
Tom, I'll spot you 50. I'll spot you 50 points.
My ass. I haven't played since like 2012.
That's fine. That's whatever. You pick the year, Madden. You pick. By the way, 2005.
I can still hear you. I'm standing up for a moment.
Yeah, take it easy.
Hey, I gotta grab my eyeglasses. Give me a sec.
Jesus.
Well, what? What are you fucking?
I mean,
I just need to charge my computer.
I need someone to talk to.
Yeah. Well. Oh, what happened to Megan, the young lady?
They're watching.
Anybody let her speak. She's probably starting to say.
She's believe me. She has plenty to say. We'll bring her on when she wants.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't want to block her by me talking.
No. If anybody asks to be on, they can be on.
I just had to charge up. My thing about this old computer is that the battery doesn't last very long. It'll tell me it's good for 3 hours, and then all of a sudden you'll see it's no good.
Look at the senior contributors struggling here.
I know. Well, I lost my fucking glasses. So
I mean, I'm charged up. I'm set. Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, in my other computer, the one that's having the problem, that's only like 3 months old. So
What's the problem?
The camera with a couple of exceptions that it mysteriously worked, it won't work. Yeah. So I've tried all the troubleshooters. I've had Microsoft online with it. I mean, cannot figure out what it is. It has come on a couple of times, so it's not completely broken. So I don't know if there's something loose in it. But I ordered another webcam. It's coming. It should be here next week. So I'll have that on my new computer.
This one's fine, Kev. That one looks good.
Yeah, but it's a shitty computer. It takes a lot to get this going. Keyboard doesn't work good, and
the hamster's got to work overtime to get that thing going.
Yeah. Every time just to get the microphone going, I have to run through like 10 minutes of troubleshooting just to make sure it's on, and I have to reset it up. It's
Mike, I know you know what that's like, right? Yes. Like sometimes getting set up and hooked up, you don't know until you do it, and there's a billion. Add this fucking whatever addition or like update or whatever. But Ken, you look like you were like somebody dumped baby powder all over you. We got to figure out the lighting for you.
Oh.
We're gonna figure. I know you don't look like that in real life.
Yep.
So, no, I don't have any baby powder on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a Belichick hood, a big dark hoodie.
I think Mike has a healthy glow. I think I have a typical.
Yeah.
I think you have a healthy glow too.
Tom, you really got that. You have an awesome glow. I gotta say. Really?
Yeah, I'm all about the glow.
Tom, every week I want to make you finish the show always with anybody who hates Tim Tebow is a fucking prick. That is, Tom. When I watched that last week, I was crying, laughing to myself. I love Tim Tebow. I'm on your side with it.
I think I said that within the first like 5 minutes of the show.
Tom, I didn't get past 20 minutes. I was dying laughing, and you dropped 5 awesome. I still have to go back and watch the rest of that. But
I know, I have watched it in clips, but it's hard to watch for me when I know my voice is slurring or I'm out of focus. I skip over it. I know it's not going to sound good. Because I was drinking beers and shit.
Just always stay the same. Just stay. That's it. So I think we could shift to the Celtics. Did you watch the game last night, Kev?
Yes, I did. They were playing a decimated team that had pretty much nobody on it. So it's kind of like playing a G League team.
Yeah.
So wasn't really a yardstick to evaluate them by, but still encouraging to see Aaron Naismith has really come on in the last 2 weeks.
Yes, I love it. I absolutely.
When you look at that, you think, I kind of think of when I see him. What's the guy that's out for Golden State?
Klay
Thompson. Yeah. He's an inch shorter than Klay Thompson, but I wonder, like, could this be our Klay Thompson a couple of years from now?
I saw you mention Klay Thompson's comparison, or maybe somebody like that comparison. Yeah. And what a great bonus that would be for the Celtics if that actually turned out to be the truth.
Oh yeah.
Like the reality of it.
And I think they were taken from a similar spot. If I remember right, Klay Thompson was like a 12th pick or something like that, and Naismith was a 14th pick. So I mean, that pretty similar part. But when you can grab a guy like Golden State did at the 12th pick, and he ends up being an all-star, that's why you end up having a great team. When you just get lucky like that a couple of times, and boom, you've got a contending team.
Oh yeah.
And they got lucky 3 times because they also got Draymond in the second round.
Klay was pick number 11 in the first round of 2011.
Yeah.
That's 11, 1, 11.
Yeah.
Wow.
11.
You and your 11s. What the fuck is up with you?
I didn't do that. That just happened, and I didn't.
No, shut up. You planned it somehow.
2011. Klay Thompson was the 11th pick. That just happened.
What's the meaning behind the 11s?
It's just supposed to be immediate, like you're supposed to make a wish, or it's. But when you see it more, I just see it every day. And I won't lie. If I'm at like 11:08 and I see the clock, I know to look over and like, yeah, I see it. Like I try. I won't lie. I put effort into it. But
so is it personal to you? Like, or would you read something on it?
No, it's I've always done it, but there's a lot to it. There's Google 1111. Actually, put 1111 into Facebook. There's a group, and there's just a ton of stuff on it. It's spiritual, Tom.
Is it related to like, no, 1111? It's not like Surrender Day of World War II or anything, right?
Yeah,
it's not.
No.
It's not, because that is what day is that, Kev?
VE Day was in for Europe was in, I think, early May, and for the Japanese was in August.
Yeah, but there's Armistice Day, I think. So that would be World War One.
That would be November. Yeah, it was November.
Well, I can't remember what that was, and I didn't know if you had if you had a connection to that somehow. But I've forgotten the details of it. But
no.
Just
a person.
Tom has already warned me that there'll be no mysticism on this show. This is a scientifically objective show.
That's right. No, none of your UFO bullshit, Kev.
I had a
squad.
Because I had a wacky.
We can do a separate podcast on. I'm in. Look, it don't matter.
I'm into it.
Yep.
I had a wacky pink cat theory.
That's funny.
I told Tom that the pink cats are the reason the Red Sox finally broke the curse.
You might be right.
That's dumb, right?
You really ever hear that term anymore? And it was huge right around that time. After when the Red Sox won, that the pink cats were invented.
That's right.
Oh no, after Cowboy Up. After the
Yeah,
Cowboy
yeah.
Up.
Oh,
years.
Cowboy,
That was the
you
same
know
time,
what?
yep.
Cowboy Up is a bigger reason than the Pink Hats.
Do
People
we remember Cowboy Up?
Kevin
Cowboy
Yeah.
Up. They
Cowboy
did
Yeah.
a shot of whiskey before each game.
Yep.
I don't. It didn't. Kevin Millar. I love Kevin. Kevin Millar is one of my favorite Red Sox ever.
Do you know how many times I had to play that Cowboy song at the
Yes,
bar
I
that
do.
year?
Now I do.
Yep,
Now
yep.
I remember it.
Yep. Yep.
Because that was the biggest thing at that time. Fuck, I'd almost forgotten about that.
Cowboy Up, baby. Yep.
I had a
an
whole
awesome
playlist.
t-shirt.
I had a Red Sox playlist like "Don't Stop Believing," "Shipping Up to Boston."
Kev, every
Oh,
list you
yeah.
had,
I
every
gotta
list
tell
you
you,
had
that-
Don't Stop Believing on it. I think Leitrim's
Up to
ended.
Boston is the most overplayed song, even though I like it. It's actually a good song. Shipping Up to Boston.
Yeah.
It was a fun song to listen to. I'm driving in my car. Like, all right, it's kind of a story with a song.
So
But good Lord,
what's your
I heard it
the
so
song?
many times.
The song I connect with that World Series, Tessie.
Yeah, yeah.
See, that one actually has quality, and that girl is hot. The one that they have sweeping on the top of the dugout.
Oh yeah.
In the video, she was a pretty freaking girl. I actually like Tessie better.
And the
How
song
about
was
this?
recorded for the Red Sox, so it belongs to the Red Sox. You know,
Yeah, it was based on like an old Red Sox story, right?
No, wait.
I think it
hold
was
on,
a
this is
song
great.
they used to. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
This is great. This is a great story. I don't know if you remember my buddy Jay Piscator that was just in here, the bar that was called Enough Said.
Yeah, I know you mentioned him and the bar, but I don't think I've ever had contact with him. I don't know
It
if ever.
was, it was
know.
the old Dohertys that then turned into Enough Said. My buddy Jay did. It was big across the number. It's the old Dohertys. But he named it Enough Said. And I don't think he ever told anyone why, but he did in the beginning. He told me. Enough Said, if you look up Enough Said McGreevy, who is he led the charge into Fenway. If you listen to the song,
All right, okay, gotcha. He was the guy who broke down. Yeah, all right. I know exactly what you're saying.
his name was Enough Said McGreevy.
All right.
So that's
his
why
name was probably Ernest McGreevy. His nickname was Nuff
Right.
Said.
Right, but that's that. If you look at that up, that's why he named it that. No, I don't think he ever really even told anyone that, but now they know. But yeah,
They used to have a
that's
little
cool.
bit of a
I didn't
drop
know
kick
that.
Murphy.
I did not know that. I did not.
Dropkick Murphys, I believe they own like the copyrights to it or something like that. Or he ran into like an issue, I think, in the beginning. Well, I don't think it was big enough to really,
We had a drop kick connection at Leitrim's. Back when we first took over, I had never heard of the Dropkick Murphys. So this is before they became, part of the Red Sox lore. And we would get packed, and I'd get somebody calling me up on the phone saying, "Kev, I'm out here with the Dropkick Murphys, but they have a girl that's on no left. Can you get me in?" I'm like, "Who the fuck are the Dropkick Murphys? I don't know what that is, So I'm like, I said, no, I'm not. I mean, I'm not letting them in, But it's because I guess some of the guys were from Auburn. So I think they kind of lived in the area.
Or Sterling or something. I swear. Yeah, I've heard the same thing.
So there was so then there was a guy that came in who was setting up kind of like a farm team dropkick band. They were connected to the band. They were friends of the band, and they were setting up and there was a different name, and they were going to play similar style music. So they wanted to play at Leitrim's. So they said, "Well, playing down at what's the bar? What was that place on Highland Street that used to be once upon a time Acapulco Pizza, and then it became?"
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. I know Acapulco, so I don't know what it became, but it's right across from the sole proprietor on Highland.
Yeah. Do you know what I'm talking about, Mike?
What do they name that? I don't
Which
know.
one?
There was a bar on Highland Street in that area, kind of across from the Soul. Not the Boynton, but this other place. Shit, I can't remember.
The
Well, anyway,
Acapulco.
so what's that?
The Acapulco.
It was in Acapulco when I was in college, and then it became some other Mexican place.
Tortilla Sam's.
Yeah, Tortilla Sam's.
Oh,
That was it.
good
Yeah.
I have no
good
idea where
call.
that came from. That was in a chapter of my brain that just unfolded right there without me
Good
even
call,
knowing.
dude. I think.
It's
all right,
good.
go on, Kev. So,
Well, anyways, they did. Actually, it wasn't a bar. They didn't have a liquor license, but what they had was entertainment on certain nights, and it was bring your own booze, right? And so this
BYOB. Yes. Well,
Yeah.
Acapulco used to be BYOB.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
So the band was going to be playing there in the back room, and they said, come down and check us out, and if we're something you can use, you can schedule us for the back bar. So I went down with this girl, Mary, who I was dating at the time. I think Tom met her once, and we went and sat in the back there, and it was noise to my ears. I mean, it's that back room there is not real big for a full band, but I was like, you know what? Dropkicks is very popular. They had a lot of people there. I was like, all right, so I'll schedule them. So I scheduled this band to play in the back room at Leacham's, which was going to be loud as freaking hell in there, And I think it was going to be on a Sunday night or something like that. But 2 nights before they were going to play, they called me up to cancel because the guy that was their main guitar player got drafted up to Dropkicks, where I believe he still is their main guitar player, because the Dropkicks has changed his players over. It changes their band members over like 20 years.
Yeah, they're like one of those bands. They do.
So that was right around like 2003, and I used to see him in the videos when like they got big and they had those videos. He's this tall, really tall, kind of skinny kind of kid. Looked like a rock star. Looked kind of like what was the guitar player for Led Zeppelin?
I know all the members.
That's out of my range. I know Robin Plant. That's it.
Yeah, he was a singer.
Was the drummer, right? So Jimmy Page.
Jimmy Page, that's it. Yes, right, he looked kind of like a young Jimmy Page, except more punk rockish and stuff like that. And he became the band's guitar player. So his own little private band, I think, just disappeared, and because he went on to Dropkicks.
But you actually got to see him play before he made it to the Dropkicks, right?
Yeah, but it was like not my kind of music at all. I mean, it was really, really, it took getting used to.
Yeah, it's hard rock, Irish, Southie, rough music.
Yeah, some of that shit it's too much for me sometimes.
You want to beat the shit out of someone when you listen to it. That's it.
What's that?
I don't know, but.
Which means I'm gonna go get beat up somewhere. So
no, okay.
Honestly, some of the I can listen to Dropkick Murphys. I just don't like to listen to them when I'm around other people. So I'll be like, yeah, fuck you. I will fucking wreck you. Yeah, like the accents sound like the things you've been in, the fights and the bar. It's like I don't want to be pissed off, but they still good music. I just don't like them.
Kevin, I watched you take a punch like Zeus and fucking
that's my superpower. I can get hit.
I love it.
I can get hit with the best of them.
I'll never forget it. On the side, the line you gave that kid was fantastic. You said, "Buddy, I just took your best punch and didn't even move. You should probably get out of here." That was it. He was out.
Was that the guy from Johnny Max?
No. It was the other guy. He was at the Blarney. I think it was one of the only times I was at the Blarney when you were working there. I didn't go there. I was just 21 when you left, and you had just gone to Leacham's, I think.
I didn't really know you then. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was the first time. Yeah, I don't even think we had talked a little bit, but not Leacham's. But that was funny. You still got it. You got it.
Was that Parade Day?
No.
Parade Day fights are different.
They don't count. They don't count. Parade Day fights don't count.
Yeah, Parade Day fights you cannot count in regular fights.
Nope.
Because you always fight on Parade Day.
Parade Day. Oh my God. In my career, on the other side of Parade Day, I have won. I've gone to one. That's the smartest decision I've ever made in my entire life. It's just a recipe for disaster, I think, but it's never really ended in disaster. Not to jinx it, but
what's never happened? What has Parade Days never for you personally, or for?
I never wanted to go. It just, for me, that would be trouble in public. You know what I mean? I knew better. I know better.
It was trouble, and it was weird because Parade Day happens in March, so sometimes there's snowbanks and everything, and everyone's bundled up. Other times, everyone's all like, "Hey, it's a nice weather day," and they're all freaky, frisky, ready to fucking go, and one person bumps into one person outside of blue jeans, and the next thing you know, 9 people are fighting.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen more than once.
That's Worcester, though. That's what's great.
Outside of all those, yeah, that's a tough day to be out.
It went south when people started shooting each other around there. That's when it went south.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't play the shooting game.
People started shooting each other on Parade Day.
No, I mean just around.
Oh,
No,
okay.
Megan said parade day is bigger than the night before Thanksgiving. Yeah, I agree.
No,
They're both, those are the two biggest days of the year for a park bar.
That's good that she touched on that too. That's the second day of the year. I think I've only been out once or twice on the night before Thanksgiving. That's a recipe for
Those are both
disaster.
just great days. I miss them.
And you know what? The reason why is because I worked them, and I know on the other side what those people look like. You know what changed? One of the funniest things, parade day, working the door at the Bonnie, I think there was two of them. One of them, I was new and had to come on at 4 o'clock, and that is before they closed early. So I was there from 4 o'clock to 2 o'clock with people that shouldn't even be out in public.
Oh yeah, I've been there many times.
The only ones, that's when they pushed the pool table against the wall. We didn't even clean on parade day at the end of the night because we had to come back, you know?
Yeah.
Amazing though, amazing. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, I'm surprised people haven't GoPro'd a parade day down there, or, you know, that was before. I think cell phones weren't around back then.
I know. If I had a GoPro back then, I would. Oh my God! I would actually, out of respect for my friends, not play it, but I'd love to have it. You know what I mean?
Right?
Yeah.
Those parades are crazy. Sometimes you'd see people jumping over other people trying to hit them for no reason whatsoever.
Yep.
You know, they're just mad that somebody tripped, you know, or whatever, or fell over something.
Yep.
Oh God, that was crazy.
Yep.
We didn't have a lot of fights in the bars because if you run them right, you don't really have to.
Fights,
you know?
It's like more pushy fights. You know, a lot of pushy fights. That's
We didn't even have those because if you're watching hard, you can get rid of the guys before they even get to the point where they start a fight. So, but as far as I don't know what goes out on the street. You guys see a lot of fights on the street on parade day? I never spent that much time outside.
Absolutely. I would see people chasing people. I'm absolutely. Like, you know where State Liquor is on Park Ave, Kev?
Yes.
Of course, yeah.
Oh my God, that was where people would set up their parade, their patio chairs, whatever, to watch the parade go by, and someone would beef with somebody else, and the next thing you know, 5 people are fighting 5 people. I swear to God, it happened almost every year. Because my cousins hang out there, and I'd be like, "Why do you hang out here?" They're like, "Oh, that's just our spot." Yeah,
it may as well have been an octagon. State Liquor was where all the fights happened.
But one good thing about it, I did know. I don't think I ever saw anyone get fucking like destroyed. Like everyone like broke it up, like, sort of. But it was a nasty place to be. I never wanted to be around there.
But think about it.
My cousins.
No one's ever gotten shot. There's never been anyone murdered on parade day. With all
police everywhere.
Again, I want to knock on wood, but I mean, think about. I would think very different. You know what I mean? Just the crowd. I mean, it's hit or miss too with the weather.
Yeah.
And, you know how many people are out there, but I would have thought that would have been the big time danger, but it hasn't so far. And
well, I can't fight my way out of a paper bag, but I actually did last year at the Cornerstone. I actually did break a guy's nose on parade day. There was over near the trophy case. There was 4 guys that I was watching closely, and we didn't have a cop on that year because they couldn't get us one. So I had been watching these guys. I knew they were up to trouble. So as soon as they started kind of bouncing around with people and stuff like that, I had, just like clockwork, we had the door staff. We had a couple guys on. Everybody's zoomed in, and we just calmly walked them to the door. So we're getting them all out the door. And then all of a sudden, I think out of the 4 of them, 3 of them were out the door when all of a sudden, smash. The first one that got out had thrown a rock through the window. And the rock smashed like one of the neon lights. And
I remember that.
It sprayed all over some of the people that were there with their wives. So all the people that were there stormed out of the bar to go after whoever did that. And I was kind of in the doorway at that way. All the staff had gone out. And it left me alone with the first guy, who was the guy who was originally being thrown out. And I just said, he went to go back in the bar. And I said, no. I said, you got to go. And he cocked his fist back and took a swing at me. And so I ducked it, and I just popped him a few times. Each time hit him right in the nose until he went down on the ground. And then I just grabbed him by the neck, and I kind of pulled him out and left him alone. I went out to make sure, because by that time fights were breaking out outside, and everything got broken up pretty quick. And then this kid who had been talking shit and took a swing at me and starting trouble, he's sitting there crying and his nose is like bubbling blood. And he's like, you broke my nose. You broke my nose. And so he actually called the cops. I had to give them a statement and took me to court. But I had the videotape, which showed him taking a swing at me.
No shit.
So I was like, you're not going to win this.
That sounds all right. We're gonna have to make that into its own little podcast. That's weird.
We can do it now. We can do it now.
Over that with video. That's kind of interesting.
Well, the only part that's weird is like it brought my record up to like 1 in 1,000.
Yeah, this is totally live. Kevin.
Anyone who's watching this, and I'm going to post this to my Irony buddies, I get a little shitload of fights. I don't win any of them.
That's 2 weeks in a row. That's 2 weeks in a row.
I don't mind getting in them, but I don't claim I ever won of them.
Have you won one? You have one win.
I've won a few, actually.
Now it's a different story. Now it's I won a few.
A couple of them are very satisfying, but I would say he's 1 out of 1,000. I'm 1 out of 1,000,000. I barely ever won, but yeah, I did win a few.
Sometimes the famous Eric Ockert fight.
What's that?
Eric Ockert.
Oh my God!
Wow. Yeah, talking about blast from the past.
Do you know him, Mike Casello? Yeah. Do you know Eric Ockert from apart from? Yeah.
Yeah. From Pool. Pool. Yeah. Main Street.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Dude, we gotta get him in and have him talk to us about the story when we fought. It was so fucked up, but I don't want to ruin it by talking about.
You fought him?
Yeah.
High school.
Does anybody have his number?
I'm friends with him on Facebook.
Get him in.
Call him. Let's get him on right now. We'll bring him on right now.
Well, I haven't. I took a friend. We haven't had any communications though. So
who won, Tom? Exactly what I'm talking about.
Tom won, so Tom started his career out undefeated.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Well, do you think you could win today?
I'm sure he could beat my ass, but
I'm a confident guy. I'd say me. I'm a confident guy.
Yeah, of course you do. You got to. We got to get the stats. This could be big.
Yeah. Well, I know he's been hitting the gym for the last 20 years because it was a high school fight, dude.
Look at that. That's a risk you take if you fight someone in the bar. You don't know if they're a UFC pro.
I know, you don't. And that was his mistake. He parked outside of the wrong. I'll let him tell it.
It doesn't sound like he's going to want to tell that story, but let me tell you guys a story about how Tom Fleming beat me up when I was in high school.
No, I wouldn't say beat him up, but I beat the shit out of him.
I wouldn't say it, but let me say
it. Tom, enjoy it. Enjoy the win. Both, baby. Hey. It's funny that you say that about not knowing who you're getting into it with. I think I don't even want to say it, but one of the only times that I really got my ass handed to me was with a kid who was trained at MMA. But he came at me after.
I'll tell you what, I learned that in the Army, and someday I'll get Ed Husted on here. If you ever see the name Ed Husted show up on our thing, he'll be the one to tell you. I tested him. We're on base in Germany, and we got in an argument.
I tested him.
Yeah. And he like the whole walk back from the field, it was after a game, and he had sucked and I had sucked, and we were both pissed because we lost. We're playing an Army softball game or whatever the fuck it was. And I'm like, you fucking suck. And he's like, you fucking sucked. And he came out of nowhere and he hit me. He's like, shut the fuck up. And I'm like, oh, fuck you. I'll see you in the barracks. Like 2 minutes later, we're back in the barracks. I'm sitting on a couch, and Ed, who's like 6'2", 190, 200 pounds, goes, say that one more time. Said, tell me I suck one more time. I'm like, you suck. He got from that chair to me within about a half a second, held me down and started punching me. And I just started punching back. I'm like, all right. I didn't know it was going to be that easy for you to kick my ass. And he totally remembers it. Everyone who was in the room remembers it. But it's like, you don't know. When you get angry, you know what I mean? You say stupid shit to people who can kick your ass. You know? And that's what I did. And now me and Ed are totally cool. I mean, we spent years together in the Army. But that one day, he was willing to kill me. He was so pissed off. Fuck off. All right. Any access to Eric Ockert or no?
No, I didn't even try because I have not had any contact with him, other than at one point, say 7 or 8 years ago, he sent me a Facebook friend request, but there's been no communication. So I don't want to just suddenly communicate with him like that. I'm not even sure if he's still on my Facebook friend list. I'm assuming he is. But
Still is. What's up, Mike?
We'll have Finnegan. I bet you Finnegan has access to him.
Yeah, I think I do too. But again, like Kev said, it's probably I only very rarely see things. Like maybe on Chris.
Look at what I'm saying. We're gonna set it up, so you better start training now if you haven't.
No, I don't want a rematch. I don't want.
I need you to represent. I can't have you lose here. We need.
I want to hear his. Honestly, I'd love to hear his version. I really would. His version of that fight.
I think that's fantastic. I think that story would be fantastic.
Yeah, it was kind of fun.
It's almost whenever Tom found himself there late night at Leachham's on rare occasion, he would, if there was trouble, he was there right with me to, breaking it up or whatever.
Look at that. That's all that matters. That is honestly, Kev, I'll give you the funniest thing. The first night I ever worked at Leachham's was it was like right around Super Bowl Sunday. I think it was maybe even Super Bowl Sunday, but it was the first time. And you had left. You went upstairs, and there ended up being a fight between there was only like 15 kids from Assumption in there, and there was one other random guy, and they started getting into a fight, and I was like, "Fuck, how am I going to get this? How am I going to squash this?" So so I grabbed the one dude that was getting beat up, and I threw him outside, and everybody else followed him, and then I shut the door. I didn't know, that's all I had at that one point. But
you gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah.
I seen him the next week, and he was fine, so he made it. But
I had one secret advantage. One time, this was many years ago. There was a Worcester semi-pro hockey team. I forget what the name it was.
The Ice Cats. They used to come down every Sunday.
Yep. And they came down every Sunday, and it got busy enough at that point where we needed a doorman, but I didn't really want to hire a doorman. And my leg was in a cast because I had broken my foot. So I came down on crutches and would sit at the door, just to card people. Obviously,
I remember. Yep.
But there was one of the guys on the Ice Cats was getting into a fight, and so I had to go over on crutches and say, "Listen, if you don't knock it off, I'm throwing you out of here." And he just kind of looked at the crutches and looked at me, and I'm thinking to myself, "Thank God I got crutches," because who's not going to hit me if I'm on crutches,
Yeah.
And he actually, that was enough for him to behave after that.
Yep.
Random factoid of no interest to anyone. The very first date that I asked my wife on was an Ice Cats game. We went to an Ice Cats game in the late 90s. I don't know what year it was. And it was because she had just started working. She'd been working at the bookstore with me. And I got free tickets from Scratch. Do you remember Scratch, the little mascot they had? It was like a blue cat that would show up at bank openings and shit. He gave me a couple tickets. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to ask her out. And so the very first date I ever had with my wife, and it was a miserable day where ice was on the sidewalks. You literally had to hold the fences to walk. You're that fucking frozen, crusty, icy shit.
Yeah.
So I have a huge appreciation for the Ice Cats.
They gave you. You always if you're trying to. That first time you ask someone out, you're looking for that excuse, and you're like, I got these tickets. I mean,
it's not like there's an opening of the new Cats or Star Wars. Not that I knew what she gave a shit about. She only gave a shit. She gave a shit enough to come with me. That's all I cared about.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I have a long loyalty to the Ice Cats. Although now what are they now? The Thundercats or something?
The Railers. Are they? Yeah, I think they're the Railers now, right? Yeah, the Railers.
Oh, the Railers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are they part of anybody's system?
I'm not even sure. I'm not a hockey guy, but
Neither am I.
But I'm not a hockey guy, but the best live sport event that I've ever been to in my entire life was a hockey game. And
Me
I've only
too.
been to one. I'm not even kidding. Sharon Duraney, she got me tickets when I used to wear the Ty Domi jersey and the PJ Stock jersey. She got me tickets to front row to that game, Boston against Toronto. And PJ Stock and Ty Domi came in the beginning of the game and skated around each other, circles. This is what hockey used to be. Skated circles around each other during warm-ups. And as soon as warm-ups happened, they dropped the gloves and went right at it. That's why I used to wear those. That's why I used to watch hockey for that.
Yeah.
As far as the game goes, I never really played, so I never, I could never skate.
I never played, but Derek and Jeremy and a lot of my friends played. And honestly, it is the game that translates the worst to media. If you watch it online, if you watch it live, if you're literally in the arena, you're close up to it.
Yep.
It seems so much faster. You watch it on TV, it looks like a fucking video game. It's so different. I don't know why it doesn't translate that well, but if you watch it up front, the intensity is already in the air. You know what I mean? It is. But if you watch it on TV, I can watch a Bruins game and like not have any emotion about it at all. If you put me in front of a St. Peter's versus St. John's high school game, then I feel all that, and you see the speed right in front of you. You know what I mean?
I used to watch it. I used to watch even the regular season games in the 70s and 80s when I was a kid. So like the Terry O'Reilly, Mike Milbury Bruins, and then the Cam Neely Bruins. And then at some point, maybe after college, they kind of became just a team that I watch only in the playoffs. But I still, when you turn every year, you put on the playoffs. It's one of the most exciting things in sports there is.
Yeah. I mean, the playoffs are definitely a level above for the viewer than their regular season.
I mean, it's a lot of overtime games, sudden death, and it's exciting. And you just never know. I think you're watching, you could be dominating the overtime, and all of a sudden someone gets a breakaway, and bang! It's like it's tense.
Yeah, what always bothered me about watching hockey on TV is same thing that bothers me about watching NASCAR on TV, is that the relative speed, you can't see it on TV. In real life, you can tell how fast these fuckers are moving, whereas on NASCAR, they can be 180 miles an hour, but the other car's going 175, so it looks like they're barely moving past each other. These hockey players are the same way. But if you watch them live, you can see how fucking fast they're moving. Like they're literally like switching the sticks. They're doing all these things. TV doesn't translate. I don't know why, but that's just my opinion on it.
Probably because you can't hear it either. Like hearing the sound of the skidding on the ice and stuff, you get a sense of the power. You know?
Yeah.
Did you guys? Now you guys are both Worcester guys. Did you ever play? What's that street hockey ring over near Beaver Brook? Is that? Beaver Brook?
Played there. I played there with Derek and Jeremy a couple times.
You know, it's funny. Beaver Brook. But I have a friend of mine who I asked to contribute to this project was Mike Ruggiero. He actually does a podcast now, but he said, Breen's guy, area guy, Webster Square, he said one of the most interesting stories that it's never been really told. There was some rink street, what was it, street hockey? They were roller hockey or whatever it was.
It was street hockey. It was
just street hockey,
He said some of the most badass fights ever happened to that place, and it was legendary. Like everybody went there. It was he said it's a great story. We can have him on sometime to tell that. It was a lot of local, Brains, Blondie guys, old school, but hockey.
I used to play there in college sometimes because I had some friends that were on Clark's hockey team, and everyone's, and I was a gym rat playing basketball all the time, and they knew me from that. And someone who played basketball with me too up there. So and they played in like leagues and pickup games. They had up there, and I don't know how to skate, but I always played a lot of street hockey as a kid growing up. I love it. It's one of the best sports you could play, you know.
I thought it
And
was
so
awesome. I thought it was fun.
yeah. So they asked me to go up there, and I'm even like some of the rules for hockey I didn't even know, like offsides. I'm like, I don't, I'm used to basketball. Like you can just have a fast break. You can't do that, you know.
No,
But I remember this one time, this guy checked me into the boards. I mean, it upended. I went. I think I did like a 360 in the air and landed on my back, and like play stopped, and everybody thought I wasn't hurt. I was fine. I was young enough. Everyone's like, man, I'm sorry. You all right? Because this guy just destroyed me. I was like, I'm fine. Whew.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, that was fun though. I never saw we didn't have anything like that in Lawrence, a street hockey thing like that. Man, we would have been up there every day. That was just an awesome thing, you know, that facility.
Yep.
If it's still there.
Kev, you're in Andover. I think I don't know. I was talking to Tom about this the other day. I didn't even put two and two together. We had Peter McNeely lives in Andover.
Does he really?
Oh yeah. I wanted the first time when I had talked to him, like before we had gone on, he's in Andover. I was like, all right. Not only that, but I think it's Lowell too. Irish Mickey Ward's gym is in Lowell or something like that.
Yeah, Lowell is right up the road from here. 10, 12 minute drive. I spent a lot of time Lawrence and Lowell were the twin cities down here of the valley. They're both mill cities. Yeah. And I had friends in Lowell in high school, and we played a lot of pickup basketball on the playgrounds up there growing up.
Right, and Neely is exactly your age, right? Right, Kev?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Similar, like within a year.
Well, I'll be 55 in May. I don't. What's McNeely?
No, is he 53 or 54 or something? I don't know.
We're gonna check it up, and that is my favorite line to use. Like, it's almost like an end the sports arguments because we have technology at our hands. We can end it, right? Like people.
Yeah, I know. It's not an argument. I'm just curious. I remember.
But it's funny to listen to people like in the bar, even they'll argue for hours and hours and hours over something. They can just hit a button and look up and end it right there, you know. But that's been for a while. It's funny though. We're spoiled.
All right, here's an idea, Kev.
Yeah.
If we reconnect with McNeely, you and him go out for coffee at Dunkin's.
No.
Okay.
That guy's got quite a criminal record. I don't know if he's following us. I don't really want to follow him.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. No.
52.
So he's 52. What are you, Kev?
I'll be 55 in May. Well, in a few weeks. So
you would have been playing sports at the same time, but you wouldn't have been in the same era.
Oh, I don't think he's from Andover. He's probably living here now.
No, he's from Medfield.
Everett, bro. Is it Lowell or Everett? Where is he from?
Medfield.
Oh, Medfield. That's
Come on.
Yeah. So that's not far from here, but yeah, that's close to Boston.
Medfield to me, I don't even,
I'm Peter McNeely from Medfield, Mass.
Yeah.
On whatever date, I'm going to kick Tyson's ass.
Oh, God.
Take your pay-per-view plan soon. And if not, I'll wrap you in my cocoon.
Cocoon of horror. Cocoon of horror.
Fantastic. I fucking love it.
Fucking awesome, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly what I would. You know what? If I was in his position, knowing that my chances of winning were not that great, I would have done. I mean, not that he didn't try his balls off, and he absolutely acquitted himself very well. I will never take anything away from him. I will never take anything away from him. But that's exactly what I would have done. Go in there fucking super confident. Don't go in there like, just.
Well, he talked a lot of shit before the fight too, but
he did.
That was part of it, though. It's not quite the World Wrestling Federation, but he's trying to promote the fights. So you got to talk some shit.
Then he backed it up.
He really should have found a role after that. He should have turned that into some roles in acting. not as a star, but as a bad guy, just because he was a pretty good looking guy.
I think that's when he hit a little bit of a road bump in his life, and he had so that's why maybe he didn't.
You almost wanted to look at him as like the real life Rocky before the fight.
Yeah.
I think he fit that mold before. It would have been great if he came out and fucking knocked him out.
Yeah.
That would have been a movie. That would have been, I mean, Jesus. But
honestly, if he had and Tyson looked bad, they would have just said it's because Tyson has been in prison for 5 years or whatever, and he's out of shape and he doesn't know shit or whatever.
Yeah, but still.
Then they wouldn't necessarily. I think Peter did as well as any guy who was offered, hey, dude, I'll give you $1 million to step in the ring with Tyson. Will you do it? He's like, yep, I will. And they're like, all right, he did as good as anyone could do.
So
now, who else? You know what I mean?
This is why I didn't really go back and look at this video, but this is why I'm a Peter McNeely fan, other than my own personal stuff. And it was after I've seen the interview before, but this is before he fought. Watch this. You gotta understand now, like this whole thing.
All right, what am I looking at?
I'm watching a Peter McNeely interview. My father, my mother, Paulie, my 3 brothers, last but not least, Snubby.
Mr. McNeely, what was it that you have told your son?
And last but not least, Midfield. Fantastic, bro. But he got super emotional, like through that. And the question I started, and it happened after, but they asked him, who are you doing this fight for, or what are you doing this fight for? Probably how could you step in the ring with this guy? But that there's nothing but genuine in his voice. That's right, he believed that he was going to go in there and make some noise. Maybe he didn't believe it,
In this way, he did make some noise, just getting there, and going in, fighting hard, and it's back at that time, you look at these guys like Tommy Morrison and stuff like that.
Yes,
they get ruined by the people around them afterwards. That once you get big enough, that suddenly, and they're feeding you drugs and this and that. Because you look at him, I think he could have got a role for himself in Hollywood, just doing bad guy roles and playing Boston characters and stuff like that.
If Tommy Morrison got a role, he could have got a role, I think. If Tommy Morrison got in, same kind of guy.
Yeah,
he probably could have, but like I said, he hit those roadblocks, right?
Yeah,
he hit some crime. So
I drugs. A few of the fights before Tyson, you got to watch it. I went back and watched, the few of his pre-fights. He was a bad dude before.
No, I know. You sent them. You shared them at some point. Yeah. Yes, he was a badass. He was like 15-0, but eventually he fought real fighters. Not real. They're all real fighters, obviously. They don't kick my ass tomorrow. But even before he got to like a 15-0 record, he fought some tough motherfuckers. Yeah, and they were hard as hell.
The best part about that interview, I'll tell you, I think I talked to you about that, Tom, earlier, but after that interview or his spot here, he said, you know what? He said, I just hope that it showed everybody that I just wasn't that one fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think
he
that
wasn't
means a lot
just
to him.
one fight. Yeah, he wasn't. He wasn't. He had a career.
Yep. Yeah, and I don't. A lot of I think nationally probably a lot of people don't look into it, but around here, the guy had heart. I give him credit. Anybody with heart gets a Tommy point or whatever you want.
Tommy points. Yeah. We have to give out Tommy points with a new Tommy.
A posthumous Tommy point.
I obviously love. He's my favorite guy ever.
I love Walter. Those are the real Celtic days.
Walter.
I love Walter. He would just scream it.
I miss Tommy. I grew up. I
do too. Do.
To me, Tommy is more the Celtics than anybody, including Red, because he just was a part of the team for so long.
Yep.
It's just, and he's been doing those telecasts since I started watching it in the 80s. So I mean, and he's just he was the Celtics to me.
Johnny
you know.
Most.
Oh yeah, Johnny Most.
Most. Man, I was that fucking geeky kid who put his little FM radio under his pillow to listen to 580 AM of Johnny Most for 7 o'clock games. I listened to him all through 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Then I found girls. But before then, I had Johnny Most in my ear every night. And my father would come in and be like, Tommy, you gotta electrocute yourself. Shut up, Dad. I'm listening to Celtics. Because I literally have a wire going right up to my head.
Do you think Johnny? I think I would call Johnny Most the most, probably the best announcer of all time, best broadcaster of all time, commentator of all time for the Celtics. Would you agree, or would you call Heinsohn?
No,
Tommy was good.
It's just they're not really comparable because one is basketball. I mean, one is radio. But the magic about Johnny Most, though, it came from an era when games were not on TV. You go back to the 60s. It's kind of like the famous baseball announcers, you know, that people would listen to, like say the Yankees and the Brooklyn Dodgers and stuff.
Yeah,
the announcers made people envision the game without, you know, they painted the picture of the game. And Johnny Most, and they brought it to life, and they made you care, and they made you feel the emotion. Johnny Most did that for the Celtics. I mean, you could feel him chewing on that cigar, and you could almost see the spit flying off his microphone when he would get excited. I mean, it brought you there. I mean, it just you felt that passion.
All right. Here's a subtopic, Mike, to make a note of. Let's talk about Ronald Reagan's early career calling the Chicago Cubs and St. Louis Cardinals. I have done deep research.
Hold on one sec, Tom.
All right. I can't see it. I don't.
Johnny Most.
I know exactly what that is. Yellow.
I love it. He was a man. The headline of that Johnny Most blasting the Detroit Pistons. How much hate though? Who hated more, him or Tommy?
Say again?
Who hated more on? I think Tommy hated the refs more. Johnny Most just hated the other team more.
Johnny just loved our team. You know
Tommy
what I mean?
Hated the refs.
Yeah, Tommy did hate the refs. You're right. He did.
One of the best lines I ever heard in the broadcast was he yelled out the ref's name. And he said, "Go home. Nobody loves you here. Go home to your wife." On a broadcast.
And he's saying it so the refs can hear him.
Yes, they're right in front of him on the inbound.
He'd be sitting there shouting at him.
Oh, that's horrible.
But to answer what Johnny Most did, I think you started to say this too, was he would turn the opponent into that villain that you want to hate. You know, like
he did it to Dennis Rodman. He did it to Patrick Ewing.
Yeah.
I mean, they're two very different players. But I remember he made you want to hate Patrick Ewing. And I love Patrick Ewing as a player. But yeah, he was a villain.
Patrick Ewing has a Worcester tie. He played with Dwayne McClain, who was from Worcester, that played at Villanova, and then went over.
I'm pretty sure, but I can't say this for sure. I'm pretty sure my father played in a rec league with Dwayne McClain. I can't say that for sure, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, my dad was an athlete.
I'm gonna set you up for one here, but I used to see Dwayne McClain in the shower.
What?
And when I was at Clark, he was dating a girl that lived on the same floor as me, and I used to bump into him in the bathroom. He'd be shaving, I'd be running in the shower, getting ready to go to work or wherever, pretty regularly enough to like, hey, that's.
So he goes to Bonnie?
No, I never saw him at the Blind Stone. No, this was at Clark when I went to Clark, and he was dating a girl that lived on the same dorm as me on the first floor, in the same floor.
So are you about the same age as him? I thought he was older than you.
He's probably a couple years older than me. He didn't go to
No,
Clark. He
I
was
think he's
dating
younger than you.
Dwayne McClain.
He's Patrick Ewing's age. How old?
Yeah, Patrick
That's
Ewing's
it?
older than me.
Really? Good
Wow.
Lord.
Patrick Ewing's like 2 or 3 years older than me.
Yeah, that would be right. That's Dwayne McClain's age. Right
Yeah.
there.
No, I just he was. I still remember the girl too, but he was a pretty blonde girl. He was dating her or banging her.
That makes sense. Makes sense.
But, yeah. I just whatever reason we were on the same schedule. He just would stay over her and he'd be up showering and get ready to go wherever he went, and I'd see him in the bathroom, and hey,
Yep.
I never, beyond saying hey, I never said 2 words to him, but
Yep.
it
Awesome.
was friendly enough. But
Yep.
I don't want to stretch this out too far, but that was I'm glad you brought that up. Mike, who's the biggest sports celebrity you've ever met? Like met in, like, not just like slapped hands and
I have two, and it's going to go in reverse. I'll tell you, the greatest sports moment I've had with close to celebrities that I actually talked to that responded to me. I went to a Celtics game in 1998 with a friend of mine from college, 99, Sean Bennett. He took me to a Celtics game, and this kid he played for Anna Maria at the time, and he wore to the game a complete Celtics. It ended up being a ball boy uniform, like the warm-ups that they wear for layups.
I sort of can picture 1990s. I can picture what it looks like. Yeah.
So we go to the game, and his seats are not that bad. They were like mid-level, and we ended up just trying our luck going down to the court. I sat next to if it was a pool, I sat right directly under the hoop, to the fact that all the camera guys were like, hey, you got to get out of there. That's where the players run. That's the lane. Me and my friend, they thought he was a ball boy. So they let us fly. We sat there the whole game. We were sitting on the court, right? I'm telling you, I've only been to 2 Celtics games, and this was one of them. And we were walking at the end of it. We stayed after, and it was Indiana, because I remember I taunted Dale Davis. I called him Antonio, and he stopped in his tracks and looked at me and said,
did not. You did not. Hold on. Start that sentence again.
We stayed 15 minutes after the game, and we were there, and the Pacers players are leaving, and I said, Antonio! He said, nope, and they looked at me and said, no, that's Dale. And he gave me a dirty look, like, what the fuck? I don't know.
That's what I would have given you.
It was family and friends, but now I'm still with my friend that has the ball boy uniform on. So we walk out, we go down the escalator, and no shit, Ron Mercer and Antoine Walker come walking out of a door out of nowhere. So the fact we come in the hallway, we meet at the same exact time. We walked all the way down them, and I don't know if I can get Sean on the phone, but from my mouth, I looked at Ron Mercer and said, we'll go one-on-one right now, joking around, like messing around. Antoine Walker laughed, and we got all the way down to the door in the parking lot, and that's when the security guards, we walked all the way with them. There was no entourage. It was when Antoine Walker was on crutches. And all the way down, and they turned us away at the thing, and Antoine was later, guys, like, acknowledged me, But the only other Celtic I ever met, which was my only 2 celebrities, was Joe Klein. I met in 1988 at Percy's, and
was it like one of those, like, come meet Joe Klein and buy it?
Yes, we got a Polaroid. And also, this is a story I never tell because it sounds stupid and no one ever believe it, but I have a witness. I know he'll come on and verify it. I handed Joe Klein a letter and said, can you please give this to Larry Bird? And it was a letter inviting Larry Bird over my house to play basketball and drink coffee with my dad or something. I shit you not. I handed a professional basketball player a letter and said, hand this to your teammate.
How old were you when this happened? What was your age?
10.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep, 9 or 10.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Joe Klein. That's the most famous person I've ever really met. met. But
Kev, I think Kev has probably told me his, but I may have told you, but I met Larry Bird at a Bay State Bombardiers game when they used to play downtown Worcester. The Bay State Bombardiers. Do you remember them?
I do.
Fucking.
Who was the kid from BC that used to play there?
That's before me.
Adams? Is his name Adams?
No, was it Heron? Was it not Chris Heron?
No, there was a,
oh,
no, it was
no.
before. There was a big little guy. There was a scorer from BC. Played in the pros too. He played. I forget, but at that time when I saw him, huh?
Shit.
Need a year.
Something Adams, I think.
No, you're right. I just can't think of his first
Yeah.
name.
What year?
Anyways, go ahead. Go ahead.
But
I
anyway,
interrupted.
I met so the most famous people I've ever met are Larry Bird. And he literally sat right next to me, signed a napkin for me, and we talked for like 5 seconds or whatever. And then I moved on. And other than that, the most famous athlete I've met is, oh shit, I don't know. Who's more famous, Rich Gedman or Marvin Hagler? Probably
Hagler.
Marvin Hagler.
Sorry,
Marvin
but-
Hagler, yeah.
not,
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Did you
I
guys see
know.
that picture of that I shared of Marvin Hagler? There's Marvin Hagler with Peter McNeil.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but I don't remember the context I met him in. I just can't remember it. I just know I was there, but I was a kid. You know, I just know that I was told I was there.
Dude was a champion. I mean, that's
Yeah, he was a-
that's world renowned.
Sugar
Like
Ray and
not-
Marvin Hagler, one of the most famous fights ever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Marvelous
and
Marvin
so I
Hagler,
guess-
yeah.
So I guess he would be. Oh, fuck that, yo. No, you know what? Fuck all of that. Herschel Walker, Herschel Walker at the Olympics. Wait till I tell you that story. Oh,
What are you waiting
Herschel.
for? Tell us now.
What a waste.
we gotta
It sounds
plan
like
a
I was
fucking date.
listening.
We
What?
we gotta plan a date. Tell us now. Jesus.
No, when I went to the Olympics in Albertville when I was in the army with some buddies, and there was no one around. So he's got like cheap tickets to the top of the bobsled, and it's Herschel Walker and Brian Scheimer. And obviously, you know who Herschel Walker is, but Brian Scheimer was all like a legit, like fucking Olympic athlete, not a football player necessarily. Dude, they hung out with us because there was no one else there to hang out with. So,
Where's Albertville?
France.
Okay.
Right on the sort of near the Alps. It's in the French Alps, actually.
Okay.
But yeah, so it would have been the '92 Olympics, Winter Olympics of Albertville. Dude, Herschel Walker laughed at my jokes. That's all I'm like, good enough for me. And then they wrote there's a whole thing. The USA Today wrote a story about it, about us being there because they ran into us, and they include Herschel Walker being in it, and they mentioned, oh, and he also chatted up Brian Scheimer's wife. Brian Scheimer, who was the other bobsledder on that team, his wife was literally the most attractive woman you have ever seen in your life. She was perfect and gorgeous. And the fact that he mentioned that we were chatting her up, which is kind of like Euro for hitting on, it actually resonated. Because I'm like, yeah, I kind of am hitting on it.
Hey, Mike, have you seen? Sorry to interrupt. You go just for a second. Mike, did you see the message from Megan? She said to bring the video up on another tab and share your screen.
Yep.
Did you do that or?
I don't want to mess with the
Okay.
with the caster. I know what she's talking about. I just don't want to sample it right now.
Do you know why what she wants to accomplish with that, or?
I think it comes up in a box, a separate box, whatever video I'm trying to put up there. It's a screen.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So-
you were trying to put the Johnny Most video up.
Yeah, and instead of doing that, I think that, but I just don't want to cut us off or whatever, or disconnect us off.
I was wondering if there's a way to do that.
Yeah.
Dude, you need her on the team if she knows what she's doing.
Oh, she knows what she's doing. Yeah,
You got to get her on the team. Get her on the
Yeah.
payroll.
She absolutely. She's on the lifetime payroll. She's good at.
Oh, that would be great if you can pull up like a video that you. Oh, yeah, that would be key.
Yep.
Is this Megan a lady that I know or I don't know?
Nah, I don't think you know her. Maybe you've seen her. Actually, do you know?
She's
Oh,
saying
yeah.
unmute me.
Yeah,
So-
I will, look at it. I'll unmute her. Hold on. Should we bring her on? Let's bring her on.
Well, she's welcome to come on, whether I know her or not. I'm just curious. I want to make sure I introduce myself.
Maggie, you there?
I'm here.
She's here. Where's the video?
It says it won't allow video. You won't
You
allow
should.
me to come on the video.
Wait. I think
You
it will.
disabled my video.
Everyone, not just you. I guess you are everyone, but still.
I gotta give you some lessons on Zoom, Mike.
I know. I need them. I swear to God. It's confusing, but I can't sample because I don't want to cut us off, But screen share.
You're not sampling. All you're
Here we
doing is.
go. You gotta ask to come in, I think.
I'm already in, dude. I just gotta start the video.
Yeah, start that video.
It says you won't let me start it.
Oh, you know why?
Why?
Because I gotta let you. Go ahead. You ready?
Ready.
Go ahead. Try now. Yes.
Oh, I
That's
see.
Megan. Kev, her sister is remember Beth Belcito?
Yes.
Her sister is Erin.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Nice to meet you, Megan.
Hi,
Yeah.
everyone.
Yep. Megan, that's Tom. Tom, that's Megan.
Great show.
Thank you
You
for
love
coming
it?
in and saving us with your technical knowledge.
Yep.
Yeah,
we-
I'll have to show him what to do.
We appreciate it.
No problem.
We appreciate it.
So like if he wants to post a video clip up there, he can do that? Like
So
YouTube
if
or
Mike
something?
wants to show a video that you guys can comment on.
Yeah.
He would just go to a different screen on his computer, like pull up a different tab.
Yeah.
Pull up that video. And then down at the bottom of the Zoom, it says share screen.
Yep.
Oh,
You
yeah.
click on that and then it shows you all the different screens up on your laptop and you pick which one you want to show the group.
Oh,
And it'll
we-
come up instead
Should
of
we
his-
try it right now? We are
Yes,
beta. Tom
absolutely.
said no more
First.
beta.
do it.
Hold on. All right. So let me before it wouldn't let me minimize the Zoom, but it did now.
Mhm.
And it won't.
So go to your video, wherever you pull it up, like YouTube or whatever.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Now go down to share screen. And it should show you all your different tabs.
Hold on one sec. I'm just gonna put YouTube on. We're gonna put that on. All right. Can you hear that?
Mhm.
Oh yeah, huh?
Look at this.
Can you see it?
I'm not seeing it. Oh, wait a minute. There it is. All right. Just came up.
I can't see it. Isn't it? It's an extra box.
It's the
No,
main window.
it's exactly what you're looking at the YouTube. It's Dave Letterman.
So you guys can see it.
So we can see it. It's our full screen and
Yeah,
you're in
Dave-
a smaller box.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, all right. So then when I click off that YouTube video, it'll just go. that
It'll
will
go
come
right
off?
back to you. You could just hit stop screen sharing.
All right. Yeah. Wow. All right.
See, so you can do like your drawings from here and
Let's
your
see.
contests.
Oh, stop share. Okay. So now we will. And did it stop on your end?
Yes, it did.
So it's still played in the tab, but that's cool. All right. We know how to do that now. Hey, we're getting better every week. Every week we're gaining knowledge.
Yeah.
We're just trying to get better. Megan,
Yeah.
my name's Paul Fleming. I don't know if I know you from Worcester. We never hung out, right? As far as I know.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
You mentioned a relationship to Beth Belcito, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is that the same Beth Belcito who's like really good friends with Kelly Wharton?
Oh, it is. Yep.
Oh God! Well, she knows exactly who I am, and honestly, she kind of might not like me because I'm a dick sometimes.
Tom,
But
a
I was
lot
never,
of people.
but I don't think I was ever particularly nice to her either. Please say hello to Beth Belcito.
So
And
Kelly Wharton's other good friend is my sister, Erin, with the red hair.
oh my God, all right. See, Erin never had a beef with me. Sometime I think at one point I think I pissed off Beth. I can't remember why, but she's never really been nuts.
Did you win that fight, Tom?
But I
You at least win that one.
cool that you're related or connected to those people. And please tell her I said hello.
I will.
I thought she was always nice. I don't remember her not being.
She was nice, but no, I fucking pissed her off one time. I can't remember why.
She can be rowdy.
Yep.
Yeah, no, and I can be an asshole. And I think I said something that was like not intentionally as rude as I should have been, but she's never really treated me the same since. But either way, good. I hope she's doing well. I still see her share Facebook posts, so I know she is.
Yeah.
But,
She was there for all the
So
big
weird
sporting
how
events.
you know exactly what everyone's up to now, even if you haven't seen them in years.
Facebook guys.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. You're right.
a very different thing. Even 10 years ago, you wouldn't be able to do that.
No.
Yeah, it's gone that far. So,
Mhm.
all right. Well, thank you very much for joining us. And
Megan, thank
No
you very
problem.
much. Now we know how to Zoom. Next week, we're going to share some screens. I'll give you props. I'll give you.
That's key, because if you're talking about something and all of a sudden you can just pull it up and we can look at it, that's
Look at
yeah.
it. As of right now, Megan wins the hoodie. That's it. That's it.
all
Congratulations.
right.
It's been announced. That
Thank
be out-
you.
it'll be out to you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thanks, Meg. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
See you
Bye, Megan.
guys.
Nice to meet
Bye.
You're giving away a hoodie?
Yeah, I posted it tonight. It'll pick up. I know. We'll put everybody on the wheel that comments, and we got to promote it a little bit better. Tuesday will be the bonus podcast this week with Tommy. I think that'll be really good. I know. I remember those times. That was prime Leech from the years. When,
Oh yeah, Beth was always in with for the big sporting events with Kelly in that crowd.
Oh yeah.
You know, the Super Bowls, and you know, there was a lot of big sports moments. You know, the Red Sox and all that. She was always there.
Yep.
Yeah, I just didn't know that. I didn't know Megan, this young lady Megan. I didn't know her. I don't remember her like being her cousin or friend or whatever.
Sister, yeah. That's her sister, but she's a good egg. Solid human being, that's for sure.
Beth is also a cool girl. Actually,
yeah.
I kind of respected her for not liking me because I'm sure, like,
There
whatever.
it is. There's a line. That's a quote right there. I respect her for not liking me. That is phenomenal.
I'm sure whatever I said was inappropriate, but it was so weird. She switched off from liking me to not liking me in one day.
It's
And-
phenomenal emotional control right there. That is.
In Tom's
I love
defense, if she was there for those sporting events, there was probably a lot of not Sambuca, Rumpelmans flowing.
Oh, is that what it was? Rumpelmans? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that
So-
even a thing anymore? There was one guy, I'll tell you, I bought down the Blondie for like 9 months, maybe 10 months. But not anything I did, but when they closed, there was one guy the whole entire time that came in and got Rumpelmans. One. Any bottle that, I don't remember his name, but
Where? At Blondie or at Leadrum's?
at the Blondie. No, I only worked the bar at the Blondie, but back then,
Mike, we
you couldn't
didn't
even keep
really-
the bottles in.
The only people drinking it at Leachham's for the most part were that
Us.
group. Yeah.
We were going through
Because I think
bottles.
it was Derek and Jeremy's preferred shot. So that became the shot.
Bottles.
And Tommy Daly. And
Chris
to me, it was always too much sugar. I obviously I did my
hated
share
it.
of them.
I hated it. I hated
When
it.
Jaeger was you.
Yeah, I'd rather do Jaeger, Southern Comfort. I mean, I'll do Rumpelmans, but it was like 103 proof or something like that too. So you're doing enough of those here.
That's your number one. Is that your number one shot of all time? Jaeger.
It changed over the years. I think for a long time it was actually Yukon Jack in the Blarney Stone days. And that's
Yep.
100 proof.
That's
then-
what I started
I
with.
drank
Snake
Yukon
bites,
Jack.
baby. Snake bites.
Then it was Jägermeister for a lot of years,
Yep.
and then I think the last few years was Southern Comfort.
I'm Jaeger bomb to the heart, always, literally. Jaeger bomb. I was the old guy doing them, like when I was still going to the bars. I was the only one doing them. I think I'm the only one that ordered them like the last 5 years. A lot of people were drinking Red Bull and vodkas for a long time.
Oh yeah, what do they call that? What do they call that when you put Red Bull and vodka? That's a name. What do you call that?
Red Bull and vodka.
Red Bull and vodka.
No, I thought it had a name.
I think you nailed it, Tom. I think you actually nailed it.
No, I
We're
thought
gonna figure out what a gin and tonic is. That's
I just
coming next
remember you
podcast.
guys would have like cans that were half full of Red Bull because you only use half a can of Red Bull
Yes,
to make.
and that's the biggest scam going.
What? But was that just called Red Bull and vodka? It didn't have a
Yep.
name at all.
Yep.
That's it.
All right.
Some places give you more Red Bull, some places give you more vodka, but
They cost about the same.
yeah, I'll tell you that I swear to God, all my years of going to the Blondie, I'd never got any hookup, anything free, other than Mike Jordan when Mike Jordan lived there. But
Yeah.
Tony, now one thing free, maybe one free birthday shot in his whole career, right?
Yeah.
And anytime you go there and get a Jaeger bomb, that's the only place in the city that you're gonna get a full cup of a shot. Because he always said, if you're gonna buy a drink for $5, why wouldn't the shot be the same thing? If you ordered a drink, you had the Blondie, everything is super cheap. But that's the only thing he ever like did different that the bar down the street wouldn't do or something, Never will give you a cut, never give you anything free, never nothing, But that was the one thing I ever got. I'm going there to get Jaeger bombs, and
we kind of lost money on the Red Bull stuff because what would happen is it was, even at the beginning, it was like $1.35 a can, and then I'm sure it went up from there.
There's no way to get it cheap, and no one got a cut.
And if someone comes in and orders a vodka and Red Bull, you're going through a little bit more than half a can. But how much do you want to add to the price?
Right.
So we only added $1 to the price, but half that stuff, usually you needed more than a can to make 2 drinks, and it's just.
What would it cost if I were to get a Red Bull and vodka at Leitrim's in 2002? Let's say.
Yeah.
What would that cost me?
$4.50.
How much?
$4.50.
$4.50. It was any drink was at $1 for Red Bull. Okay.
Yeah.
So and with the Red Bull, they used to always come around and train us, and what they wanted us to do was give them the whole can, because that was a point of emphasis for them, and the reason was they wanted people to be walking around with the leftover can in the hand because other people would see it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, you're charging so much for this. How much? Someone comes in and orders a vodka Red Bull, I'm gonna have to tack at least $2 on the drink just to do that.
That was the blind rule, $2 to any drink, so 7 became 9 or whatever.
Yeah, I should have done that.
But the thing about Red Bull, there's no cheap way to get it. The distributors, they charge the bars more almost, don't they? Like you for beer and
no, but it's not a discount. It's like the same. And I actually remember when it first it was right around when we first bought Leitrim's that was starting to become a thing. Literally then it was college kids had brought it over from Europe, right? And we had a lot of I think Clark kids had a lot to do with it because they have a lot of international students and stuff.
Yep.
And that was before Atlas Distributing, which carries Miller Lite and Sam Adams. There was no distributor that was carrying it. And so we had to get it by buying it at package stores and at gas stations. But we could never get enough of it. I'd have to drive around sometimes 2 or 3 places to buy out their whole stock every night just to bring it in. And then Alice got it, and it was great because then we could just get it shipped in. But we were getting more Red Bull. We were doing more business with Alice with Red Bull than we were with Miller Lite and Sam Adams. I mean, that's how much.
I remember that was a huge craze. I mean, that was a huge thing, even though it's just called Red Bull and vodka. I remember just seeing that everywhere, and people jacked up on that shit.
The Blondie is the only place that tried a different one. Like they went to Monster, and they went to they had one of the best cans name I've ever seen, Mad Frog. Mad Frog. I swear to God, that was the name. It's funny, but people bitch too. People like Red Bull opposed to the other flavors. I think.
Yeah, you can't just give them something different if that's what they order. I mean, Monster tastes good, but it doesn't taste the same as Red Bull. It's not the
same. No.
And when that fad started, the companies were coming through. I was so like every week and Budweiser came out with a new flavor or a new brand every couple of months, and they were trying to get you to carry it. But like, where am I going to stock all this stuff? But actually, Budweiser did have finally came out with a really good one. And I think it was called 180. Yeah, it was different. Yeah, it was different flavors for it, but it tasted really good.
The Blondie had that too. I remember the 180.
Yeah,
I don't remember the 180. I remember everyone loving the Michelob Ultra. I think when it came out, was that the thing? Was that like?
So yeah,
That's beer. That's beer. That's a beer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. But it was like lower calories or lower carbs or something.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
like
oh,
that.
Budweiser did have an energy drink beer at one point. that
They
I
did.
can't-
They
I
did.
can't
Yeah.
Spark.
That sounds right. We didn't carry it, but I remember, yeah.
Yeah, remember that? Those things are gone too. That was actually the original Four Loko. That was.
What's-
that was
I guess what's the big thing?
Four Loko.
I'm like, I've been out of it 10 years. What's the big thing now? Like seltzers?
Yeah, so
Oh,
That's
the
it.
white claw.
that's all I drink now. But I'm diabetic.
But I mean, seltzers.
Okay.
Look at this is life changing shit. This is for diabetic people. I'll tell you, no sugar is crazy. You
How
get a
is there-
hangover on no
How
hangover.
is there no sugar if there's alcohol? That doesn't make any sense.
But how did they get to advertise that? I'm agreeing with you, Tom. I swear to God. How did they get to advertise no sugar? Because sugar is an alcohol.
How much alcohol is in that?
I
I
guess
think
it's
4%. Well, it's 5%.
All right. It's no added sugar is probably what it says.
We're gonna. You
all
can't see
right.
it.
I'm looking.
I
I'm
couldn't
looking.
quite see it, but yeah. So what is it? What is it? It says no sugar at all?
Okay.
We got-
Hey,
It
I
says
guess you
200.
don't need to.
It says 200 calories. It says for added sugar, 0% on everything. 1 gram total sugar, 1% of your daily.
That's your alcohol.
All right.
Hey,
Yeah.
no,
'Cause I always thought sugar was sort of part of their fermentation process for
It is.
almost everything.
It is.
But that's small amount. That's a very small amount, Mike. So that's fine
Where do the calories come from then?
from the alcohol. From
The
the alcohol.
sweeteners and whatever sweeteners. What did you say? Is like apple flavored or peach
there's
flavored
no-
or something?
It's wild berry, but
That's just a flavoring. So you got the seltzer is just carbonated
Oh, yeah,
water,
really?
and then you got some kind of flavoring that doesn't add anything substantial to it in terms of nutrition. Then the calories comes from the alcohol, as does the sugar. Calories is just a different type of measurement system for.
Yeah.
But 1 gram is not much. That's nothing.
yeah, 0. You try to avoid your daily value, 20%.
Yeah.
But I never. My brain doesn't connect that calories with no sugar ever. I think it goes into your body and then it turns into sugar. Doesn't it turn into formaldehyde or something like that? A certain temperature,
What?
carbs
Does what
or
turn into
whatever.
Does
I
what
don't
turn
think
into it?
formaldehyde is the word you're looking for, but it does. It does.
Calories are not a thing. Calories is just a measurement.
No, artificial sweeteners. They turn into, I think, borderline
Oh,
formaldehyde.
okay, all right. Here's the thing for artificial sweeteners. Okay, they don't know why. I researched just recently, but the taste of it causes your body to create carbohydrates in your body somehow.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
but if you have something that doesn't have a sweet taste to it, it won't do it. So
Yep.
So anyway, Mike, when you drink those, is it equivalent to drinking a beer? Like drink one. If you drank 1 can, I think it said Truly was the
Yeah.
brand. Is that
yeah,
the
if it's 4%.
Yeah. Same thing.
feeling? But do you drink 12 of them in a row? Like I
No.
would drink 12 beers.
And if I was 21, I'd drink 30 in a row with Jaeger bombs. But
No, I'm not. I'm just wondering if you can stomach it. You know
But
what
he
I mean?
just said it's 4%, so that's like a beer.
What's that?
Twisted Tea, when Twisted Tea
4% is
came
like a
out,
beer.
Yeah.
I think a Budweiser is like 3.8.
Yeah, so I guess you could jerk them. But
Yeah.
Twisted, I do remember when Twisted Tea came out, I was a big fan of that.
Twisted Tea. Now
was
the
a-
hangover is what bothers me with that. But if you want it, that is a diabetic nightmare. You drink
yeah.
Twisted Teas, you're not right for a week. I mean, there's so much sugar in those, and it's like extra hanging on sugar for some weird reason. Like I know, for 2 weeks after I drank Twisted Teas, anything with sugar now for me, but that's a lot. They taste good. I like them, but actually,
I used to actually drink the. There was
you
like
guys seen this video, right? The guy who smashes a guy in the convenience store with a.
oh yes.
Yeah.
God, we should post that.
Did
We
you see
should
that,
put,
Kev?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh God, it's ridiculous. You don't
Yeah,
have.
well, look at this. So we're gonna use my new my new skill.
Good
All right,
practice
you
run.
use skills. I'm gonna step away from the screen. I'll be back in a minute. I don't mean to keep you guys. You can cut me off whenever you want. I'll be right back.
We got this is funny.
Have you been officially diagnosed with diabetes, like with high blood sugar? Or
Oh yeah, for 5 years now.
are you on metformin or anything? Or
I've been taking insulin for a while, Kev.
oh, insulin. Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
actually, to be honest, I'm almost off. Which is
Oh, good.
dude, in 2008, I was 460 pounds, right? And not to get all fucking crazy and emotional, but I was 460 pounds. But no one ever told me that blood sugar was like the problem, you know? And they never
Yeah.
really said the word diabetes. They always just said high blood sugar or whatever. And I never really like accepted it, but it's a big deal. I can tell the difference between today if I don't take my insulin or tomorrow. But
Yeah.
the good news is, and right around 2008, I had congestive heart failure too, which has been my recent boast. I'm off all that medicine, all like the blood pressure, all that stuff, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty close to off insulin, which is, I mean, that's really what the ultimate thing is, you know. Nobody wants
Yeah.
to take meds. That was my biggest thing to really accept in the beginning was, you know, having to take meds the rest of my life, or you know, how did this happen, or whatever. I did what I had to do, but it was my own doing too. You know, that's the guilt of it.
I got a supplement. I have a supplement here. If I can, I have this. I have most of them downstairs, but if I can find it. All right, there it is. This is a natural supplement that supposedly helps lower blood sugar. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong spot. It's called berberine.
Berberine.
Yeah, supposedly it'll lower blood sugar. But you'd have to Google it and find out. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't have high blood sugar, but cancer feeds off of sugar. So
Kev, by the way, you look great. You look great.
Who degree?
Let's see, you look great, and I'm glad to see you're doing good.
Yeah. Oh
I
no,
know,
thanks. Yeah, no. So I mean, so I have researched some of these things. I mean, I don't know if this would do anything for you. It's called berberine, berberine.
Yep.
A lot of cancer people are taking it to keep sugar low, but so maybe it might benefit you too. I don't know.
I think when my dad got diagnosed, right? Quick story. Probably a couple months. He'd always complained about he had pancreatic. He'd always complained for a few months before that he had like some kind of pain in the middle of his chest or whatever, and it was linked to that.
Yeah.
But before it all happened, they prescribed him metformin. His sugar all automatically just spiked, and
So it had been normal and then it just spiked.
yeah, out of nowhere, never. And the man, as I tell everybody, if you ask me the day before he get diagnosed, I tell you he would live to be 100. You know, he was old school Italian and whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, when his sugar went up, it never. The man was across the board healthy. He went to every doctor's appointment, everything. You know, he lived the right way, ate the right way, exercised. But the sugar should have been like that note. You know, like that. It should have been. I get nervous even now. Like your pancreas is what makes the insulin, and that's pretty much diabetes. That means my insulin quit.
Yeah.
So am I susceptible to pancreatic cancer because of that? Or
No.
I think in my head, but if someone told me at the end of the whole thing, at the end of life, that like I would look back and I'd be like, oh, that makes sense. My pancreas pretty much died and rotted. Cancer is rot pretty much, and I think
Yeah, but it's not
I
really
wonder
rot
about
though. It's so no, I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, but your bigger issue, like I said, is heart disease and stuff like that. So that's why it's so important to keep the weight off and keep the sugar down. Yeah.
Dude, they told me when I got congestive heart failure, they told me that it doesn't ever get better. They prescribed me $100,000 vest that I didn't wear once. It was a electroshock vest. They wanted to put a defibrillator in me, blah blah blah. And I was ejection fraction is what your heart, like that's how they judge your heart if it's working well or not. It's supposed to be 55%. When I first went to the hospital, it was 25%. When I first got that, they told me that you can't. It doesn't get better. It doesn't, right? That was a lie. I went probably 6 months ago, it was 45%.
Oh,
Which
great.
is, but they made me feel like I was walking out of that hospital going to die, you know. But there's no, I don't. You can't explain it. Of course, you can explain it. I was healthy. I started eating right. I stopped drinking every night.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, a friend of mine that's a writer down in Florida that I work with, her husband, she was just telling me something similar. Now he's actually very thin, and he's about 60. He's an engineer, really smart guy. He owns his own manufacturing company. The kids, one of the kids is the NASA scientist. So they're just smart people. But he had a valve leak that was, I guess they can rank those on the system. I don't know, A, B, C, D or something like that. And he had the kind that was, you're going to need to have a replacement. But he took it under he said, all right, well, let's give this 6 months, whatever it was, and did the research on his own and found out what supplements to take. And he didn't have to lose weight, like I said, because he was thin. But and now and the doctors, they told him the same thing. They said, once it gets to this, it's not going to, you can't go back. It goes where it goes, but he's now back to almost normal from taking these supplements.
All right. So I go to take a piss and grab a beer, and we've got a fucking 1-900 call me if you have diabetes fucking commercial going on. What the? What? Where
Diabetes.
Where the fuck out diabetes?
I can send you a meter.
I know. I guess we got a little off the Red Sox topic, but I didn't know we got.
We're giving away picks and meters, people.
Insulin. Whoever hits like or subscribe, right?
We're gonna spin the wheel. One shot of insulin, baby.
Hey, back in the day, I would have done shots of anything. So
yeah,
insulin. Dude, I'd take insulin over fucking Jaeger any day.
Hey, there's another one.
I can't stand that shit.
No, Jaeger was the shit.
With all the time that Tom spent in Germany, you would think he would have acquired a taste for Jägermeister.
Yeah.
No. They don't. They have it over there, but they don't drink it over there. They really don't. We would drink. They loved Jack Daniels and Southern Comfort. They loved American booze more than they loved their own. They really did. I gotta tell you. I mean, I had the Jaeger shit and all that stuff, but they were thrilled. The Jack Daniels would probably be their premium shot, just because it's probably more expensive because it's in another country. Yeah. Whatever. No, I never get into that. I drank every one of their beers and I drank a shitload of their wines. We lived literally our base, like you could see wineries from where I lived.
Yeah.
So we could buy bottles of wine for $2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That would cost like $20 in these states. We just walk by the place. Like, we got shitloads of wine. You don't want any? Yeah. I'm like, yeah, here's 2 marks. That's right. It was marks then. It was before the euro.
Yeah.
So, here's marks. And they would just give it to you. But yeah, totally different. I never get into hard liquor. It's never been my thing. Just never has.
It takes a special human,
Yeah.
I'm not that guy. I'm not that special human.
It was worth every once in a while, not to torture him, but if you did it every couple months, send Tom a shot just to see the shot face.
Yeah. I know. I hated that. They were
also that's 2 weeks in a row that someone's taunted you about shots. Finnegan last week said he said you were the master shot turner downer. I think that was the exact term.
Oh, really?
He said you've been known to turn down shots.
I would turn down shots and I'd feel bad because say Tommy Daly comes in, he's happy about something. He's like, all right, get these guys shots. And I would have to say no. And I felt so bad at the time. So sometimes I would just do it because he's being generous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you want to not be a dick.
Hey, the guy in Ireland did that to Conor McGregor once. It didn't turn out good. Oh man, I forgot to do that. I forgot I was even doing this. This is what I was trying to share. So I do.
Kev, do you remember me taking shots and then running directly to the men's room? I had to do it a couple times. Yep, and they were embarrassing. but I
Watch
had
this.
to do it. I took it and I'm like, nope, that's not good. And I would go to the bed. I don't even know if I threw up, but I just had to gag.
Is this a commercial or what is this?
No,
What are we
watch
looking
this.
at? Yeah, what the fuck is that? Oh shit. Is this
Just
unpressed?
watch. It's Twisted Tea.
Oh, okay. Okay. Gotcha.
Twisted Tea, baby.
Why does that guy need a weapon? He's like twice the size of the other kid.
Yeah, I gotta.
Oh!
Yeah, you don't want that. You don't want that.
That is awesome. Well, I mean, that looks like it could have happened at 7-Eleven on Park Ave.
It could have,
looks
but
like-
remember, we're all now grown-ups. We don't get in bar fights or convenience store fights.
We don't even go to bars. You're not even allowed to go to a bar anymore.
Yeah, you're right. But the
It's
minute I
old.
do, I'll
That's
be
old.
flicking every second.
Listen, being in public is old news. That's the
You think
bottom
those
line.
bars on the Cape are going to be open, Tom, in a month?
Yeah, I do. I think they'll be open enough for us to go. You know, 50% capacity, whatever. Those places are never packed or normally are not. I believe everyone's at like 50%. So yeah.
The cases are really dropping now in Massachusetts. They're under 1,000 every day this week. Well, I think let me go check on what they are today, but like yesterday, I think they were like 500. So they're really, really dropping fast.
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to expect that we can't go to like the bars you're talking about, the ones at the top of my street and all that. Like that's we can go there. And Mike, I know now this is probably boring everybody who's a listener who isn't me, you, or Kevin, but best case scenario, can you get?
So.
Can you come? Or should we go to you? Between the days of June 10th and June 20th, roughly. We should come to you, or can you come to the Cape?
I can come to the Cape. I'd rather. You kidding me? Yeah, come to Worcester or the Cape.
I'm just wondering.
Jesus, Tom, give me a tough question.
The problem is I can't offer you a place to stay. I can offer you know what I mean?
I appreciate it. Yeah, no, I'll come down. Yeah.
You can sleep on a couch, but my 75-year-old mom will be there.
Look,
So it's totally cool, but it's still, I don't know if you have other things.
I slept in my truck for 4 months. The couch is like higher stage, bro. I'm good.
It's like Trailer Park Boys. You ever seen that? Like Ricky?
Yeah.
It's luxury.
The beach is a giant mattress, bro. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I do. I think we got to figure out once we get a little closer, a few weeks from now, when we get closer to June, we'll figure out how we're gonna do that.
We'll have to get a tent. We'll have to get a tent.
Yeah, hey, no, it's too late. You can't get a tent in Nickerson. You can't.
No, I mean tent. Buy a tent.
yeah.
To put in the dude, I guarantee we have one somewhere in the basement. I'll just have to dig it out and see if it's rotten. But I guarantee we have tents in the basement somewhere. I've had many of them over the years. But anyway, guys, I think we should wrap this up before we exhaust.
Awesome. Listen, I think it was awesome. We got good material turned into our conversation, but I think we did good.
Can you tell if other people are checking out at all? I mean, or is it just the people we see up top?
No, I can see if people are checking out. There's been a few.
So when people come on, you can see their name and you know exactly that they're on.
Yep.
Yeah. Anybody we know?